Your mother sucks. Glasses half full in hell.
Happy Halloween, everybody. It is the 4th annual Halloween podcast from Wasted Potential Podcast. I am Ronnie, your host, the lover of all Halloween and messed up films. And with me, as usual, cannot do a Halloween podcast without my two co-hosts. The first one needs no introduction, but demands it in his contract. He's the only man to ask for numerous demons to be inside of him at one time. Shane.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room left, but I can assure you, someone's mother sucks cocks in hell. How many times can I say that?
Should have changed our cursed word, Dan.
I know.
Yeah, I'm Shane. Hi, everybody. Happy Halloween. It's going to be a great one. These movies fucking suck.
Glad you're here, Shane. And with us, he's back. It's been a long time since we've had this gentleman on the podcast with us. He's the only homeless and ferret priest who's been sanctioned by the Catholic Church. Hobo Dan, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the invite. And I wasn't kidnapped by the native people in Amazon. I just took some bad mushrooms under the bridge.
Downtown.
I forgot about Anaconda.
It was like a month ago, you moron.
I was so high when I did that. I listened to it and I'm just like, oh yeah, the snack, the whole fucking time.
Accent was
That's
the
the
entire
funny
time.
part? It's not you eating the goddamn entire fucking podcast.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I had Wiener Schnitzel.
Ooh.
It's so delicious.
God, I hate podcasting with you so much. Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, any other updates from you?
At the moment, no. I might get some PTSD with the Catholic Church after Rudy, but we're good.
Okay. Well, it is Halloween, and as always, we like to rock out with our costumes out this year. As many preteen girls, that I also am as well. My costume is Taylor Swift, but I am dressed out in the cunt era. It's all the eras combined into one.
Oh, clever.
Thank you. Shane.
She's now on the Chiefs.
The team formerly known as from the Chiefs. Now it's called the Swifties.
Yeah.
Shane, what's your costume for this Halloween?
This year, I did one only we would enjoy, and I'm gonna be Paraguayan. Paraguayan demon hunter. I've been sent by the Catholic Church to hunt the demons. Don't fuck with a Paraguayan exorcist. And I'm just gonna smile in the corner. Just, does your mother suck cocks in hell, guys?
Shane, I have a question for you. How long did you do that accent for until your wife almost strangled you?
She was looking into the room, being like, "What the fuck?" As I'm like, "Don't touch her, bitch."
Oh my god.
I want a picture of John Voight in my room to scare my wife when she just looks at. He's like doing that weird stroke smile,
Christmas is around the corner, Shane. Don't worry.
and I'd be like, "Babe, you praise His glory, all right? John's watching out for us. He's keeping this house safe from demons, all right?"
The Father, Son, and Holy Voight.
The Holy
Oh, that's a good one. That's
you.
a Christmas sweater.
Oh, it's already in my shopping cart. Dan, we dressed up this year for Halloween.
Fentanyl.
What's wrong with you?
It's what all the kids are doing.
Why am I laughing so hard at that? Fucking Danny. Oh my god. Okay.
You have a bottle. I have a little handheld needle with me too.
I'm fentanyl, everybody.
Comes to syringes. Oh my god.
gosh.
Okay, well, that's the end.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
We always find a way to piss off someone new.
It's usually the Catholic Church, but goddamn. Okay.
You want to get high, Danny?
Oh, just
Cut
wait.
that shit out. Okay.
You want to pick another costume or what?
What?
You want to pick another costume or no? Okay.
No, do not pick another costume.
No, it'll only get worse from here.
I'll do crack cocaine next.
You're gonna downgrade now, you fucking trash person. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
ready for that.
It is Halloween. This is our 4th annual podcast here. Every year we do like a commentary track, but this year we're busy. And last year we started this like a new routine of doing longer form podcasts where we kind of deep dive into a franchise or a series. So
Huge mistake.
yeah, but they're my favorite ones to prepare and actually record. Not edit, but record for sure. They're tons of fun. And so this year, we're kind of debating it. I threw around the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Dan, what'd you throw around?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, terrible idea. Shane threw around Suicide, which, you know.
That or Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, that's actually what you actually did do that one, which is definitely horrifying. But we decided to do the Exorcist film franchise. And I say franchise because I can't put enough quotes around that shit because I think Fast and Furious is a better franchise than the Exorcist film
don't
series.
say that.
I've never seen a single one.
At least I could get through a Fast and Furious film. Exorcist 2 took me 3 attempts to get through it.
We'll get there.
I kept falling asleep.
So I've seen most of these films. Dan, have you seen... How many of these ones have you seen before?
None.
Oh, perfect. So you're like a virgin there. And Shane, you've only seen the first one, right?
I had only seen the first one up to this point. I wish it would have stayed that way.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a fan of 2 of these 6 films, and then obviously the new one just got released, so we thought, why not? Let's do this one. There's less movies, we can talk about a little bit more, maybe not talk about some of them at all. But we're going to do The Exorcist. We'll get more into the films themselves. A couple games here to make sure this Halloween's fun. I have a new game called Demon or Dumbass. So I have a name and description of a real or fictional, by real I mean fictional, a fictional demon or one I just made up right now, and then the boys here have to guess if it's real or fake. Loser has to drink. Also, we have this another game because we really want to hate ourselves. This is Dan's idea. It's called Cursed Words, where each of us pick the secret word for another person in the podcast, and if they say that word, they have to drink what, Dan?
A wonderful can of green split pea soup.
I got a disgusting Shrek-looking glass in front of me, and I hope to God I don't have to drink this.
Yeah, it's too chunky.
It's pretty gross. So we're going to dive into these films. We got some games in between. We got some trivia. We're going to have some fun. We're going to offend you. If you're enjoying what we're doing now or in the past there, follow us on Twitter or aka X, Instagram. Email us at podcastwastepotential@gmail.com, YouTube, whatever. And to wrap this all up, I got a surprise ending for the boys they don't know about. So it's gonna be a wholesome Halloween for all. Okay, so each of us was assigned a specific film to talk about and jump into. Dan, you have the pleasure talking about one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, can I say my game before we start?
You have a game?
Yeah, it's called Demon, Benz, or Bentley. And it's cars that have been named after the devil, and you have to say true or false.
Oh, I didn't know you did anything for this podcast. Look at that.
Yeah. I thought of the name first, and I had to figure out a game to fit it. I was listening to Lloyd Banks the other day, and I was like, oh my God, Demon, Benz, or Bentley.
That is such a weird throwback, and I love it.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Definitely not dead.
Oh, he's not? Ah, fuck.
Unit's dead, but Lloyd's not dead.
All right.
So 1/5 is dead. There we go. I was accurate.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Dan, you have the honor of giving us a synopsis for the 1973 film The Exorcist.
All right, go fentanyl to start. Let's see. So I guess first context, I've never seen this film before all the way through, and I just watched it 3 times in the past month and a half. My fiance is very upset with me. Somewhere between science and superstition, there is another world. The world of darkness. So we open to the greatest country in the world, Iraq, where we meet Father Marin, played by Max von S-word last name?
Sydow.
Sydow, yeah, thank you. Who's an archaeologist exploiting the great people of Iraq to find him artifacts. They end up finding a small artifact / head that turns out to be one of the demons or the demon that is the anti-star of this wonderful movie. Quick cut to Washington, D.C. area, where we meet Ellen Burstyn's character, who I'm just going to call Mom or the Mother, because I don't remember her name. And we also meet her daughter. Who?
Chris McNeil.
Ellen Burstyn, whatever. And her daughter, Regan, played by the good old Linda Blair as well.
I'm surprised he didn't do a squeal. Regan!
I don't get the context, Shane. Thank you for interrupting me. They are temporarily living there as Ellen Burstyn films a movie because supposedly she's a big-time actress just playing herself. We are then introduced to Father Karras, played by Jason Miller, and also the saddest-looking human being on the face of the earth. From there, the gradual climb from science to religion ensues. Regan gets possessed by Captain Howdy and his Monopoly game. From there, we all just must sit back and watch the ride of madness of this 1970s doctor thinking that Reagan needs a lobotomy to realizing we need the Catholic Church to save the day at the end. But this ride was not smooth. It was bumpy. This bumpy ride went from a drunk director who died, an old priest who died, necks were broken, split pea soup everywhere, pissing on floors, masturbating with a crucifix, and a young priest kills himself for the greater good of the Catholic Church. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1973 Exorcist.
And it wasn't the church that diddled her. It was the
There
director.
we go. Nice. Directed by William Friedkin, and then it's also based off the original novel by William Peter Blatty, about the little girl or the little boy, several years before being possessed in Baltimore by a demon and supposedly being cast out, but that's some skepticism there. So that's The Exorcist.
All exorcisms are met with some skepticism.
Ooh, there you go.
They should be. So,
yes.
In the past, in our Bringing the Horror, Shane and I have discussed this film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But Dan, this is your first experience watching this all the way through. Tell us, like what's your reaction to this? Because, there's so much hype behind this fucking film. It's so notorious. It's 50 years old. Like, what's your kind of initial reactions watching it 3 fucking times in a month?
So the first time, I didn't pay attention as I should have been. I was kind of sidetracked. And I'm like, this is fine. That's cool. Because this movie is... What else can you say about this film? It was considered the scariest movie of all time for its time. And probably for years. But then watching it a second time, I absolutely freaking love this film. Especially when you watch the documentary on YouTube. I think it's called The Fear of God. It's about an hour and a half, I think. I would recommend that. After you watch the film, if you haven't done so already. Because it gives you context, but also kind of gives you a little bit of a sadness about the behind-the-scenes stuff. But this is just a classic 1970s director going apeshit crazy. No boundaries, everyone. Doing whatever he wants to get the film done, Stanley Kubrick style. There's so much stuff to go through, and I'm not sure how much we want to get into it, because, again, this movie's been around for so long, and what else has not been said about this film? I want to get Shane's opinion on this, because I think Ryan and I talked about this off air, too.
Sure.
After watching it.
All right, well, my context is a little weird, because I have reviewed this movie elsewhere before watching it with this. And I saw Rosemary's Baby first, which I hadn't seen either The Exorcist or Rosemary's Baby, so I'd always mix those two movies together. Rosemary's Baby is boring. Exorcist is only a little boring and a lot more awesome. It gives you what I wanted at the end of Rosemary's Baby. So
the last, more in pieces, I would say. It's more peaks and valleys.
Yeah, but I like The Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's scary, but I do think it is uncomfortable. It makes me squirm in my seat. I don't understand the people. Like, I think the best part of The Exorcist is when people start to accept that it's a demon. Up to that point, it's just frustrating, and it's just a drunk guy calling someone a kraut over and over again. And then the German being like, you are a bad man, you're a bad man. Like, that's all it is. But it's kind of frustrating because the whole movie's just doctors being like, climbing on walls, definitely a stroke.
Climb on walls.
And you're like, yeah, okay. And like, I think the mom does a good job. I really like Father Karras.
He's my favorite part of the entire film, I think.
I think my problem is, too, I've seen this movie now too many times, and it's losing its magic with me because I just keep noticing something that I don't like more and more. Like with Father Karras' character, I like his crisis of faith and all that, but like the end when he's like the demon's goading him and he's just like, fuck you, demon. You're like, come on, guy. Like, you were told that this was going to happen, and he's like choking her. He's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, don't talk about my mom. Like, but it's, I'm going to complain a lot, but I think it's a very good movie.
Why did we invite Shane to this podcast?
Because I have a big dick.
That's what it was.
There it is.
Yeah, like I totally disagree with Shane, but like you're saying, Dan, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what we want to talk about here because everything's been said. But I think like Shane says, like the more he watches it, the less he likes it. The more I watch it, the more I have so much more to focus on. There's so many things to kind of get enthralled with. So I watch it at least once a year. So I actually I love this movie. I think you're right, Shane. I don't think it's scary. Like, what horror movie is scary? Like, I think The Exorcist is effective. Yeah, well, there you go for you. But like for me, it's one of the most effective films of what it's trying to do. Like, put these four characters together and just kind of get these like whole idea of crisis of faith and like loss and just like just questioning everything and just not sure what to do when you're put in the most uncomfortable position in your entire life. So just what do we put our faith in and the kind of the results of those things. Also like fate too. So like you're saying, Dan, I think Damien Karras is one of my favorite movie characters of all time. He's until the third Exorcist, but I love Damien so much because he looks like the most melancholic, sad, like basset hound ever, and he's just like miserable with every aspect of his life, and like I relate to that character not because my life is miserable, but like I always like putting myself in like movie characters like that. I'm just like everything is just like falling apart. Like he's literally miserable with his job. His mother's dying. He can't afford to give her the life he wants to. He's questioning literally everything. He loses his mother. He doesn't know what to do, and then like this lady's asking him for help, and he does care, but he tells Father Dyer, like, I can't help these college kids. Like, there's something I can do. So he cares about people, but then when this woman comes, he almost like dismisses her, like, you're out of your fucking mind. The exorcists aren't real. It's not a thing. But he just goes and he's kind of there to help her. He doesn't even fully believe it, but he's there because he knows like he has to do this because he's a caring person that's just like stuck in this awkward situation. Just like all these things just kind of are pulled together by fate or the demon or God, whatever. Just it all kind of intermingles. So I love this movie every time I kind of watch it there.
I do like with him too, because I think he's the first to like believe her. Because he like walks in and he's like, okay, well, I'll talk to her, and she's like has a crucifix. She's like, fuck me, Jesus, and he's like, yep, I think that's a possession.
Well, no, at first he's kind of like very calm, cool, and collected, and then he progressively gets worse and worse.
That's right. She starts speaking Latin to him, and
he listens to the recording.
English in reverse. And, yeah. But it's funny that also too the Catholic Church is like, we need proof. And it's like, what? What? I want to look at the library of the Catholic Church where they, have the rules of an exorcism. Like, all right, does he meet the checklist? Yep. Speaks in tongues. Vomiting split piece. Yep. Have they peed? Anyone they're not supposed to? Oh, okay, yep.
Oh, crucifix. That's
all
a new
right,
one. That's
we
a
can
new
have
one.
an exorcist come out next Monday. Are you free Monday?
Between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah. Make sure to tie them up.
Yeah, the Catholic dogma is very by the book. But Shane, like, you make jokes about that, but why I like this film so much is because this is pre-exorcism movies. So, like, the Catholic Church is even making fun of her, saying, well, it's like shock therapy. It's not a thing that we do. It's like in like third world countries, they believe this shit. We're progressive minds. We don't buy this shit anymore. Like the church themselves are not believing this at all. So Karras doesn't even really fully believe it, but because this woman is so desperate, he brings the case. They even say Karras isn't even qualified. Let's bring in this old guy. Is he qualified? He's old. We don't really care. Like they're doing it.
We have like two people that are qualified. One's in prison for touching children, and the other's in Iraq right now, probably touching children.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Is like no one believes this except the mom. She didn't know she believes it's a demon, but she believes something fucked up is wrong. But then the actual Marin comes in. He's like, yeah, demon. I don't need details. I'm gonna fucking do this. Like, because he's so old school. He's old world. And then Karras is so new world, so it's kind of a cool, like that
clash.
Balance of these different things. Kind of like you're saying, Danny, like the old and the new are like connecting there. I like the idea, because this time when I was watching it, what I was focused on was like, what's the purpose of The Exorcist? It's called The Exorcist, but why is it called that when Marin's in it for 10 minutes maybe? But that's kind of like the whole point. Like, it's about an exorcism. The Exorcist is there, but it's like all leading up to that point. And when Shane and I talked about the best movie of the year, The Pope Exorcist, like this movie leads up to this moment. It's such a big deal. So it's all this. It's just leading it. All these characters are intertwining. I love in the beginning, like, you see Father Karras in the background when Chris McNeil is walking. You see McNeil in the background. Karras is there watching the film thing.
The only time when he smiles during the entire film is the first time we see him. Yeah.
So it's like they're all in this vicinity, and then they all just intermingle. And I'm not a person who's like religious or spiritual in any way, but I like the idea of just like fate, because it works for this movie. Faith and fate just like intermingle, and it's what all these things had to fall in place for this kind of thing to work.
And we kind of learned through later that this isn't Father Marin's first tango with Pazuzu, but yeah. I can't remember. In the first one, does it hint that he's tangled with this one before? They said he's done an exorcism before in Africa or something.
Yeah, in the book, it makes it much more abundantly clear that he's dealt with a similar thing in Africa, and like it's like I think in the prologue of the book, like Marin knows he's being baited by like this demon, and it's kind of leading him to that point. So for him, it's like a kind of a personal thing. And then I know at one point in the movie, right? I can't remember if this is in the original cut, Dan, or the version you've never seen before. There's a part where I think it zooms in on Reagan's face, and she's like breathing heavily when she's possessed, and she's like visualizing Marin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be the.
I think.
No, it's got to be the quote writer or director's cut, whatever you want to call it.
The version I've never seen before. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's I think in one of those.
Yeah. God, there's so many fucking versions.
Yeah, I like it's obvious in the beginning. Like he finds the little skull, then he goes to like the little dig site and sees the big statue. So it is hinting that's there, but it's very subtle because it's not about the Exorcist itself. It's about the little girl and all the things behind it, really.
The lore of The Exorcist is all a blur to me.
Oh yeah, like gotta stay on solid ground here because the foundation is gonna fucking crumble, literally.
Yeah, I think I took the perspective of Father Karras and then the mother, and the second and third time go around, and that's why I think it's just the idea of it's terrifying. The fact that you're hopeless for this little girl. You have nothing that you really don't know what to do, and science that we all trust and have been about because we're a first world country on the West Side. That's all we think about is just science and these doctors we trust. And now that's kind of fucked and you're hopeless. And then you see these doctors go in saying, oh, probably lobotomy again. Or something like that. And then you see Father Karras' reaction at some point, and he's just like goddamn terrified. And he's just kind of like, what the fuck, deep down?
What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, let's see what the Keep away. This hour is mine. But I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me. That's gonna kill me. That's real. That lives with us on Earth. I thought I was gonna get eaten.
It's just the idea of helplessness and hopelessness for those two characters. I think is just why it makes it so terrifying for me because I haven't put in that spot.
Those medical scenes are some of the hardest to watch too, because like they actually did that procedure on that kid, which is kind of fucked.
That's just as medieval as a goddamn Exorcist.
The needle thing I just went through recently, and it's fucking terrifying. It's that much blood too.
And they actually did it to that poor fucking kid.
That's not fake. Of course.
He's like, you stabbed that kid's spine. She's like, I can't. He's like, you're not union. Shut up.
I'm surprised Fred can then just shoot her and say, oh, bullet wound.
Yeah, he's like, he hands to Max von Sydow. He's like, so in this scene, we kill the demon. He's like, this is a real gun. And he goes, I know.
We can get in that briefly, too, if you want to.
Make it a headshot.
Yeah.
Oh, how Freakin fired the gun next to Miller?
Yeah, he did that, but then he had hidden guns, like he had a shotgun and like little pistols hidden around the sets of the film. Waiting just for like, if someone needs it, I'll bring out the shotgun or the pistol. We'll see what happens today.
William Freakin is a goddamn psychopath, and one day I'm gonna make you all watch the movie Killer Joe with me, and then you'd be like, oh, I thought he was fucked before, but in the 2000s, he and Matthew McConaughey take us all for a wild ride.
You mentioned this, I think last year.
Oh, I mention it whenever I can. It's a high quality movie.
Oh no, I can't. You keep fucking me over with movies, man.
Welcome to the podcast.
No.
After watching, actually, Fat Russell Crowe was a treasure. That was actually fun.
On his little scooter.
I know when to. I know when to give you like trauma. I know when to give you laughs. Okay, I'm a balanced man.
It's the concept of giving you a treat, then taking it away when you have to. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Ronnie's like a bartender that gives you a shot, and you're like, oh, that was nice. What was that? He's like, oh, that was a birthday cake shot. Try this one. And I go, oh my god. And he goes, that was my piss. Did you enjoy that?
It was piss and
Or
bleach.
it's green split pea soup.
Exactly. Dan, did you which version did you watch? And if you don't know the do you know like when you watched it, did you like know the difference or no?
I know I watched the original one. I couldn't find the director or the writer's cut.
Okay, have you seen the version you've never seen before, Shane? Here's how you know. Have you seen Reagan do the spider walk backwards down the stairs?
No. So I think I watched the original version because that's like director's cut. Because I remember the first time I viewed it, I'm like, when does she do that spider walk?
So in the original film, they cut that out because Freakin couldn't figure out how to not have the strings. But in 2000, Blatty because like they shot all this stuff back then, but Freakin cut it all, and then in 2000 Blatty convinced Freakin to put it back in and called it the version never seen before, and they put it back into theaters and had the spider walk. It has one of my favorite scenes actually is a scene when because you know Karras and Marin don't talk a lot, but they had one more scene when they talk, and it kind of gets into the themes of the movie. So it's like one of my favorite scenes of the film.
That's a 50-50 for me. I remember in the Fear of God documentary, they mention that, and they show it. But I'm like, I kind of like them just sitting there, like, defeated and exhausted, like, we're just fucked, man. What do we do? I don't know. I'm not sure what I like better.
Sadal's like, suck it the fuck up and stop bitching about your mom. Get back in there.
No,
Fred King, give me your gun.
I see the advantage of both of them, but I like the idea that like Karras is giving up hope, and then Marin's beyond tired because he's old and dying, but he's still trying to give like that final hope to Karras, because the ending of the film, like that like to me always like that's what kind of pushes Karras to make the final sacrifice, is to not give up hope when things seem absolute loss. So I think it fits that theme really well. But yeah, I get it. The spider walk thing's creepy, but it's kind of silly looking. But
especially now,
I like
guess
the version I've ever seen before.
Yeah,
it looks fine,
sure.
but it's very memorable. But I like the recut version. Anything else, Dan, that kind of stands out to you as like a thing you loved?
I think we should do a special shout out to the for sure the makeup to start. Dick Smith killed it with the makeup. I didn't know Father Merrin was actually that old. I thought he was just an old person, but he was young, super guy. I did not know that. I didn't know that until 2 days ago.
Shane, guess how old Max von Sydow was in the role?
40.
44.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all makeup? I didn't know that, and I've reviewed this movie before.
Dude, that fucker has looked 80 for... Well, he's dead now, rest in peace, but he's looked 80 for 70 years.
just like Lloyd Banks.
He's in high school, just 80 years old, wearing his varsity jacket.
Yeah, he and Steve Martin didn't get the the good genes in like the aging department.
Do you all want to get beers and bitches?
And then the other shout out would be the voice of the demon. Let me look up. I think her name is Mercedes McCambridge. She did the actual voice of
fucked.
Even though she didn't get fucking credited, she got dick
fucked.
down hard.
Yeah. So I thought it was all editing and all that stuff, and it was just someone else's voice, but it was actually her voice technically, and she was it was wonderful.
Yeah, and the girl that plays Regan got credited for it.
Yeah, and she got the Oscar nomination.
Yep, just fucked, just proper dicked.
But also, she was like, she had to bring her priest in because she started drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, so she wouldn't go back into relapse or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but she did all that for the role. Yeah,
and also freaking strapped her to a chair and like kind of tied her up and did the whole fucking thing to make her feel like to make her like method act. I'm like, god damn.
Oh, he fucked everyone over, man. And then like the room was so cold there was snow on it in some mornings on the floor.
Yeah, I knew about the room being a fridge.
Yeah,
like a literal fridge.
Yeah, other than that, I would say only thing I would say is a con for this movie is we kind of mentioned it briefly earlier, but the guy who plays the director, the drunk director, my second favorite character, because I kept picturing Shane as that character, just saying, being drunk and saying these slurs all the time.
Just calling a random butler a kraut.
You Nazi pig, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he was an asshole, and she was supposed to be dating him. That was another thing. I was like, Jesus Christ, lady.
No, it's like
it's funny. I kind of got that vibe when like she came out and he smiled so heavily, but I'm like, maybe she's just the main actress, or like she's like the big time show. So he's thankfully, yeah.
No, like Chris and like Reagan had that conversation. She says, "No, we're not dating." And she's just always around because like the director and they're close. Maybe they fucked a little bit, but I think it's kind of really establishing that I do what you can to
get the role,
right? I think it's kind of establishing just like that that Reagan's mom and dad are separated, and and dad's not there. So Chris is trying to have a male figure in her life besides the German guy, but this drunk belligerent Brit's probably not the best person.
And a pedophile, I think, in the books.
What?
I think in the book it's more played into that. Because they kind of hint at it, that Reagan's been sexually assaulted or something like that, because she throws him out the window, right? And they kind of go like, why was he in her room?
because
When
the
no one was
the
home.
nurse asked him to stick around and wait, and then
And wait, what? Yeah.
he lured her up there to kill him, I guess. But yeah, but once again, it does seem a little something
It's hinted
inappropriate.
that it's,
yeah,
something's wrong. Yeah.
yeah, it's obviously because like I think Kinderman, who we didn't mention, great also. He's great in this one. The detective Kinderman, he's great in this. He's like the movie buff too. He's great in this. He also mentions like, yeah, why would he be up there? Like, yeah, kind of like they're all hinting like something weird's going on here.
Uh-huh. And like he's like, maybe this little girl threw a grown man through a window and broke his neck.
But probably not. But can I have your autograph, please? Yeah.
And then in the novel, I think I haven't read it. I need to read it, but Kinderman knows that Reagan killed Burke, and then like he comes over during the exorcism and tells Karras he's not going to press charges. So I think it's a little more overt in the novel.
Yeah, he also, maybe I did see the director's cut or something, because doesn't he have a whole conversation with Karras where he's like, I could throw you in prison, like, if you don't tell me who you've been giving psychological services to.
That's in the original one, because I only watched the original one this time around, because I didn't remember the differences, and because I've seen I always watch the version not seen. It's the one I have on Blu-ray, so I watched the easily available non-uncut version.
Also, this time I was laughing a lot because I pictured Danny being a bum just sitting next to that staircase and just seeing a random man get thrown out the window by a demon. And then the next night it happens again.
I told you.
I told you. There's a fucking demon up there.
No one's going to believe this.
Give me some
And they're
fentanyl,
like,
I win.
This bum is his drunk thinks he saw it, but no one believes him. I swear to God. As you just have like 5 ferrets around you.
Ferrets attack. Add before we transition.
Great movie. I'll see it next year. Again.
Yeah, I don't have a ton more to say about it. It's really good. It's hard to kind of like say anything truly funny about this one. I mean, other than the behind the scenes, but yeah, good movie.
All the torture I was done. Okay.
Yeah.
So this question was inspired by Shane, and I guess I'll go with Shane first. He probably has an answer. So my question for this first film is, Shane, how long? Put yourself in the shoes here of Chris McNeil. Let's say like your wife's acting a little strange. How long until you know it's a demon and you're going to go to the priest for exorcism?
Okay. Pissing on the floor was a little weird, and her being like, "You're all gonna die."
She's sick.
That one was a little. Yeah, I could buy it. Maybe when she fucks herself with the crucifix, I go, okay, okie doke.
I don't know about that one, Shane.
When I come into the room and she's going, and I'm like, oh boy, I think we need more than a psychologist here. I think we need an old priest and a young priest.
Yeah. Wait till the 6th one.
Yeah, I think as soon as I come in and her eyes are green and growling, I think that's a pretty, whoops.
Fair enough. What about you, Dan? Your significant other is acting a little funny. How long until you're gonna start calling your local priest?
Until she stops cooking me dinner.
Danny's like, God damn it, there's no demon in this house. Don't fucking dinner. Hungry man meals. Oh fuck, she's possessed again.
No, why are all the all the upside down crosses back to normal?
he's like, put my crosses upright.
He's possessed by an angel. God damn it.
Yeah.
He's going to his local church, and they're like, what seems to be a problem? Like, my wife's possessed. And I'm like, oh no. He's like, I know, I'm fucking starving. Bitch won't cook. And he's like, well, we can get an exorcist out there. No, I need a demon, because she only cooks when she's possessed.
For me, I'm locking that bitch up immediately, because we have good health care, and then we can get her just like in the psych ward for a long time. I'm good with that.
And then you could see other people.
Other demons.
Yeah, other demons.
Other Pazuzus.
Speaking of
Just
which,
slamming Pazuzus.
Thank you for the segue.
This is a good segue. Should I do one of my demons or dumbasses though?
I also have a demon Benz or Bentley.
The
Perfect.
Fast
I'll
and
do
Furious questions. Yeah.
I'll do one and then Shane can do one, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
First one's easy. True or false? Pazuzu was the ancient Mesopotamian demon that was the personification of the southwestern wind in Africa. True or false?
Oh, I guess true. I don't know.
Me?
Did Dan die?
Yeah, you bitch.
It's true and false, actually. Just two different cultures, isn't there? Ron?
Is it true or false? God damn it!
It's part true, yeah.
It is true as the ancient Mesopotamian demon for the wind.
And then something else, too, I think. Wasn't it like a Aryan or Osarian? I don't know what it was.
Pazuzu, like, it's a real thing. It's numerous cultures. I have other shit for that, but I'm gonna try this this green ooze here, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ooze here. I'm gonna try this bad boy since I couldn't stump either of you guys.
I'll do it with you with that, because it's both doing it.
Oh my god!
This is good.
Oh my god! It's so salty.
I'm not even getting any of the chunks, it's just the soup.
It's so salty. It's so gross.
I'm just gonna
Shade.
get a little goop of it.
Cleanse my palate with the Fast and the Furious thing.
That's all right.
Dude.
It's not that.
So tell me if this is a real car or not.
Okay.
The Dodge SRT Hellbaby.
What's the point of this?
Here, Dan. I don't know cars, so I'll go first, and you can go second.
I know
We'll go,
demons.
That's a real car.
And if you're gonna say false, you gotta give me the real name that you think it would be.
Unless what?
So I said it's the Dodge SRT Hellbaby.
Well, what if I get it wrong, Shane?
Well, you fuck yourself.
Oh, okay, with a crucifix? Okay.
Yeah.
Dodge. That's true.
It is false. It is the Dodge SRT Hellcat.
Isn't that what you said?
Take a drink.
I said Hellbaby.
No, I didn't even hear you.
Which is what we should have watched instead of The Exorcist. Watch grown men eat po' boys for an hour.
Alright, I'll do the green split pea
Oh.
shot with some of the light.
I don't think I understand what your trivia is about. Are these real cars or are these cars from movies?
Yeah, they are real cars.
Why are they cars, Shane? What's
in
what's
common
the
circulation?
what's the relation?
Last-
to
Because it's a
demons?
demon.
Benz, Bentley.
Last night we watched Christine, which is a really good movie. You guys should watch Christine.
Oh, the
for
original one,
Halloween.
yeah. I watched Children of the Corn for halfway through and fell asleep.
Those movies suck. Okay. Thank you,
what-
Shane. What a
what are
fun
we doing
game that
now?
we all understand. Thank you.
All right,
God, I
thanks,
just
Shane.
did it to be. Fuck you! God damn it! I hate this.
all right, I'll take the green split pea shot with some middle light in it. Okay.
Oh, that's an awful idea, Dan. Okay.
You should have
my
drank
turn.
Budweiser because it'll send you straight to hell.
I'm going,
I
baby.
make it gay.
Make it gay.
Take that, Kid Rock.
Wasted Potential Podcast only drinks Bud Light. Okay.
All right, what's next?
Exorcist 2, The Heretic. This is me.
Ugh.
1977.
Good luck.
I'm ready. I was proofreading my synopsis here, and I don't recommend children out there you get high and write synopses because you can't spell. You fucking can't spell for shit. Okay. Richard Burton is conducting an exorcism while constipated, and a fire leads to an awkward scene transition to Reagan tap dancing to Bill Clinton's saxophone. Reagan, post-exorcism, now lives in a Hall of Mirrors psychiatric hospital, dealing with her lack of memories of letting Jesus fuck her. Meanwhile, Richard Burton, aka Father So-and-so, refuses to molest children, but investigates Father Marin's death and heretical ideas, like a cop. Bad acting ensues, and Father Something takes the case. Nurse Ratchet uses a Napoleon Dynamite time travel machine to mindfuck Reagan and access her memories, while the priest watches and storms in like a military commander and tunes into Ratchet's tone to go down on his tone. Demon Reagan and the basic bitch Reagan fight over Ratchet's boob heart. Then the Doctor forgets it all, but Priest No Name fights fire with a walking crutch. Reagan dreams of colonial locusts attacking Africans and refuses to give $1 a day to help them buy food and spread the gospel of Jesus. After investigating and flirting, Burton goes back inside of Reagan, and she can see Black Jesus Kokomo, and learns the demon's real name is Pazuzu. Reagan can read minds and goes inside an autistic child's head to get her to talk, and the Doctor reports none of this fucking shit to her mom whatsoever through the entire film. Father Blankstare travels to Africa to watch men dance and meets Kokomo, and he gets there fast, but the movie is very, very slow. Ned Beatty shows up to not get raped and flies LeBlanc to Kokomo's town, 10 feet off of the ground and in between numerous fucking flight paths like a goddamn psychopath. He says no to titties and has fever dreams before randomly finding Kokomo and learns that Darth Vader is studying locusts and religious metaphors. Father, give me your badge or your gun. Vulcan mind melds with the runaway Reagan, and they head to the original Exorcist house for an exorcism. Crashes and silly hijinks ensue as Reagan fights evil Reagan for Father something's soul or whatever. Also, Burton wants to fucking kill Reagan at the exact same time. I don't know what's going on in this movie.
You're spot on. You're spot on.
That's like a shot for shot, like shot of the script of the movie.
But it's like all the scenes that you described are like people staring at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then James Earl Jones is a scientist? Like, what?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's a scientist that makes a locust that makes the other locust stop being a locust, but he's also a part-time, as Ronnie put it, Black Jesus, way down in Kokomo, and but then he meets James Earl Jones, and he's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing!" And then he leaves. So James Earl Jones was pointless. But James Earl Jones turned into a jaguar.
Leopard.
Leopard, yeah.
Jaguar
and then
shot.
He goes back, and then they just relive the last scene again of The Exorcist, and then you get done, and you go, what the fuck was that all about?
I wrote down the movie is just a combination of scenes and people saying shit without any reason or like interconnective thread, and it's just the whole movie is just metaphorical religious nonsense.
It's like member berries put over bran cereal. And you're like, ugh.
So, I'll start with the positive of this film. This is like kind of my dream, kind of, if someone can like make a horror film like for real, you know, we're writing a horror film and it's like awful, but like if I could really write a horror film, I would like an idea of someone like investigating the aftermath of like an exorcism. And like seeing like, and you're like watching this person like deal with this fucking thing. It's kind of like Exorcism of Emily Rose. I really like that film where it's kind of like the aftermath of like this girl dies in exorcism, and like everyone's kind of dealing with like, wait, what the fuck's going on here? And it's like holding the church accountable for this shit. So like it'd be interesting to see a horror film kind of do that. So I like that idea that they're doing here. Like the church is investigating. My problem is like they literally undermine Marin and immediately think he's untrustworthy and a heretic after they're the ones who hired him to go there and save Reagan.
For no discernible reason.
None. There's literally no reason.
I called this one the boringest Lion King ever made. And then like there's this weird like hypnosis subplot thing. Like where everyone just accepts that this little strobe light is hypnosis, and
they literally call it going in sync, and it's like that stupid and kind of like just
it's
bare
so
bones. Like,
stupid. And then the demon keeps possessing people from within her, so it's like the demon's not in her still. It's just like the taint is there.
So real synopsis, my jokey, sarcastic one. Reagan's dealing in the aftermath. This is a few years later. The church is investigating like what really happened because the police don't really know. The church doesn't really know. So they ask Father Horses No Name to basically like look into it. Reagan's in a psychiatric hospital, and they have some bullshit inception machine that makes them like be able to share consciousness. So they're trying to tap into Reagan's mind without reminding her of the trauma, but the trauma is in there. But the whole time Reagan knows about it, and then she's acting weird because Pazuzu's somehow still in there. It doesn't really say why he's in there. It's to me, it's like insulting of the first one because it like belittles the entire ending and the sacrifice of it. So it's just kind of like nonsense.
And then, because Pazuzu has like multiple, like it can fracture itself, like locusts. So it's like one demon, but it is multiple entities. I'm trying to. I think the only thing I could say that I liked about this movie was the set design. I thought the set design was cool. I liked the House of Mirrors, even though it would be stupid that you'd put a bunch of people that are crazy in this crazy inducing fucking rooms. But okay, I thought they were cool. I also thought the church that you have to risk your life to climb to the top of was stupid, but it looked cool. We forgot the whole plot about Marin saving Pazuzu's African victim, which was James Earl Jones, before he learned to turn into the form of a leopard. And so they have to literally carry him up a cliff face. And it's like, who built this fucking church at the top of this cliff? How'd you get the raw materials up there? Why is it there? Like, what the fuck is this church? Is it Catholic? Like, what the fuck? Nothing makes sense. And you think there would be some like, this all sounds interesting. But it's done so boringly.
It's shot flat and boring, and it's awful.
Oh. This movie is, how many hours is it? Because it feels like it's a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, there's 2 of these films I had to like constantly stop and take breaks and come back like a day later. Sorry, Dan, we're kind of talking here and not giving you. What are your thoughts on Exorcist 2, the heretic?
It's okay, I'm used to it. This movie was so fucking weird that I really was kind of rooting for it because I'm like, this is so different, but I just couldn't jump off the cliff and root for it at all. No pun intended, or the Matt one you want to say. I thank God I don't have epilepsy because with the flashing lights, I probably could have died when they were turned in sync and stuff like that. I just sat there like kind of speechless because I was just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next. I was just so confused for the most part. Like, what's going on? Does she remember it? But then she does because she's drawing the pictures, right, with crayons about
like a fucking
the past, right? So then, but I didn't realize.
Which is really good.
But I didn't. Oh, okay. My left toe could be better than that.
Hey Dan, drink.
Yeah. Why?
Cursed
You
word.
stumbled upon a curse word.
Which one was it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Can't tell you.
Oh
Figure it
no!
out.
I didn't think. Okay, never mind.
My left foot. This is
Oh,
fucking.
movies suck. Move on.
And the podcast here.
Yeah.
I agree with Ronnie's assessment that like I like that they took a swing at something different. They didn't just try to do like the same thing, but at the same time they didn't get away enough from like I didn't need more fucking Pazuzu like, and then it ends with her like in the room swirling her arm just going and like that gets rid of the demon.
Yeah, I like the
And
concept of
her friend was lit on fire.
Right? It's oh, I forgot about that bitch. Yeah.
After they have a car chase into the house. But her friend's possessed. Everyone's possessed.
I could see you taking some of these ideas and making it interesting, like investigating it, Reagan dealing with the aftermath, but all the bullshit biblical like like metaphysics crap that is it's so.
Ronnie
it's
also
like trying
drink.
to be pretentious, but it's awful.
Yeah.
This is like Scientology meets Exorcist.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's some things there, but it's really boring. That's the part that's just awful. It's like it's so boring. There's ideas here, and there's worse movies in this franchise than this one. Like my ranking of this one is much higher than a lot of the other ones. But it's really
I think
fucking
this was
awful.
the worst one.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe at the end we'll do a little ranking here.
Little debate there at the end for sure.
But I
Okay.
didn't see 6, so.
Yeah.
Per typical. So some of us did the Lord's work and watched all of them.
Seriously, at least we only had 6 this year. Last year, what did we have? Like 12, Dan?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I think
there's
9,
so many.
right? We each watched. We're supposed to watch 3, I think.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them, and then they released the 11th one, which we never talked about. The Halloween Ends. We never talked about that
No,
one.
I think it was 12. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's right. We never did that one.
The 6 originals plus the
two
Resurrection,
Rob Zombies.
H2O,
Evil dies
plus
tonight.
Plus Rob Zombies. Oh, you're right. There's fucking 12 of them, Dan.
It is
There's
12.
13
Come
Yeah.
total.
sluts.
There's 13 now.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie should have did Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
No, you should
That
have
would've
done
been awesome.
the 4th or 5th. Yeah. Or the 6th one. There you go. Even better.
They constantly talk about prayer in this. I think prayer is going to be helpful. It's annoying. Oh, the last thing, because Shane mentioned it, the idea that like Pazuzu can go into multiple bodies. I was like, Marin's like becomes Zordon's collecting like Jesus Power Rangers and shit. There's others out there who can read minds as well. Go find them. And then this grown man and young girl just walk off into the mist.
Go forth and find me demons with attitude. Fucking dumb.
Go Jesus Rangers.
They don't mention Karis at all, do they? Or they don't
No.
investigate his thing. That was one of my big gripe. I'm like,
He's like vaguely mentioned, but yeah,
Yeah.
Marin is the whole
They
focus,
mentioned he
even
died.
though
That's
he
it.
didn't
They
do
mentioned
it.
he died.
yeah, that's it. And I'm
Because-
like, you don't. That was my biggest gripe is typical for the Catholic Church. They blamed something else. Oh no, it could have been. Yeah, I don't know. Scapegoats. I don't know. That was my biggest gripe, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore of this film. And then the ending just kind of sucked, though. They just tear down the whole fucking building. I'm like, it's done. Don't they say that at the end? Like it's over with.
Well, it's done now.
Yep. Pazuzu's
Yeah.
gone.
If I had to guess the real world reason, Dan, why Miller wasn't back is probably because he's like, no, I'm not going back to that. And inside I was like,
No,
sure,
for
I'll
sure.
come back and do nothing to make money. And speaking of which, I was going to watch it, but I ran out of time. I wanted to watch what's called William Peter Blatty's sequel to The Exorcist. It's a movie he directed. He only did 2 movies in an entire career, and it's called The Ninth Configuration. I wanted to watch it, but it has Jason Miller in it as well. And he's only been in a couple of movies, but things I've seen of him, he's pretty great. That movie's fucking bonkers. Like just watching like some interviews about it, but I didn't get to watch it. I have nothing else. This movie's like awful. Really.
It is
Dan, do you want to tell your
wet-
Linda Blair
white
story?
bread.
Do I want to tell my Linda Blair story? Do I want
Yeah.
to? Yes. Let me pull up the actual quote, but I know someone that knows someone else that interacted with Linda Blair several years ago. So Linda Blair is very charitable and a fundraiser for animals. Good for her, I guess, but you'll see why I don't give a shit in a second. What I've been told is that Linda Blair is a nutcase. I don't know. I would never know why she'd be a nutcase. Beats me. But the person I know is that knows someone else at the fundraiser said that Linda Blair likes to talk about herself in the third person.
Oh, excellent. I
Yeah,
like
and
Linda
then
Blair.
at one point she got mad and said, "quote unquote, I'm fucking Linda Blair," and supposedly she loves pit bulls. I don't know. So that's my
Linda
quick
Blair
one.
loves pit bulls. Linda
Yeah.
Blair going to donate to pit bull charities.
I love Loa Banks.
Linda
Unit
Blair
for life,
thinks that
Wu-Tang.
your mother's going to suck cocks in hell.
So that's my little Linda Blair story. So
What a weird, I guess you could develop an ego, being like, "Oh, I was the kid in The Exorcist," but like,
She's 12.
That's going to
a
build
child
your
actor
ego up
thing.
so much that you refer to yourself in the third person as a fucking grandma.
You're a 12-year-old who got an Oscar nomination is in one of the most bankable movies of all time. Like, I was looking this up. The Warner Brothers' 2 highest grossing films for inflation of all time. Number 2 is The Exorcist. Number 1 is Barbie. So just in this past summer, it broke it. But The Exorcist is the highest bankable movie of all time for Universal.
It was 400.
God, the end is nigh.
It was 441 million unadjusted for inflation. For
then.
And then the re-release in 2000 was 90 million, which beat out 2 other of the film's franchises, I think.
Yeah,
I think it beat
it's Warner
2
Brothers.
in.
Yeah, it's crazy huge.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah,
get my
for time.
kid in crazy movies.
It beat 2. Can you? Well, maybe we'll talk about it later. The re-release.
It beat Harry Potter?
That would be.
Was that Warner Brothers?
No, that's not Warner Brothers.
Yeah, it
was
is.
Warner Brothers.
It's Warner Brothers, but like I don't think a single Harry Potter made more than The Exorcist.
Beat The Exorcist.
Well, in 50 years, dude, it's a lot of money in over 50 years of time.
That's true. All the
441 worldwide. That's nuts. Oh no, I think 441's U.S. or just a domestic. I'm not sure. I mean, it might not have gone worldwide though too for the depiction.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Whatever. 2 sucks.
Don't see
It
2.
does. I don't really have a really good question for this one, so we can just skip it and go to our
Go
demon
for it.
and okay, Shane, give us one of your Fast and the Furious things.
Aw.
All right.
I'd rather have Ronnie's.
I'll do an after.
Shut the fuck up, guy.
Was the Ford Mustang a demon? Is that your question?
The Lister LFT 666.
No, move on.
That is not a real car. It's actually pronounced Listerine, Shane. Thank you.
Fuck you, it's a car. Fuck off. I'm done. No more demon games over.
I'm playing the
tried
game.
so hard, didn't you?
No.
I'm playing the game.
Fuck-
I don't
fuck
know
all
anything
y'all.
about cars. I am not a true man.
I hope you're driving in a Lister one day and you hit a fucking tree.
What am I, Paul Walker?
Yeah. Aw.
I'd
get
rather
it?
drive a PT Cruiser 666. Jesus Christ.
That would be hilarious. That car was made by Satan.
So ugly. Okay, demon or dumbass? Lilith
Forgot what the name
is Lilith is an ancient Sumerian and Babylonian demon of chaos, sexuality, and was said to have taken the sperm of a man and given birth to thousands of demons. True or false?
What country?
I know Lilith is a demon.
Ancient Samaria
Does
and
she
Babylon.
match the description that you said? Or
False.
is
Yes.
she biblical?
So I'll just let you know. Yeah, almost all these are real things, but the descriptions might be subjective to.
I'm gonna say false. I
belief.
think there's some Bible thing with Lilith.
I said false.
Damn.
Sorry.
It's actually all true, but but like Lilith, the name is like mentioned in 4 different like types of text. So it's in the Bible, it's in the Talmud, it's in a bunch of things. So what I did was
So
true.
she's
These are all
real as
true.
fuck.
Lilith is real as fuck. If 4 different religious books say it.
She sounds hot. Come on, Lilith. Come to daddy.
Shane's older age, he now accepts all religions openly.
Mostly they're demons. All right.
Inside me.
Fuck me, Jesus.
There it is.
I asked my wife to dress up like Jesus and fuck me, and
Oh,
she
dang
wouldn't.
it. Shane's doing 3. Fuck. It's going to ruin
I
it.
know. I wasted it. 1990. Shane, tell us Exorcist 3, aka Legion.
Shane, can we switch? You do 6, I do
No.
3.
Exorcist 3, also known as The Fat Man Returns. In this not Batman Exorcist, George C. Scott rambles nonsense as a old fat version of Detective Kinderman, from the first one. Remember that? Remember Detective Kinderman from the first one? Well, he's back
No.
in a movie that actually is kind of awesome, believe it or not. I think this one was written by Bentley, the author.
Yeah.
So, like, basically what happened is the author watched number 2, went, for the love of God, did a line of coke, and then said, just give me the gun, I'm going to do it. And so George C. Scott mumbles Shakespearean quotes to himself and yells randomly at people as he hunts down a murderer who, for some reason, I forgot the name of the murderer, but there's a murderer.
The Gemini killer.
The Gemini killer. And no one knew how the Gemini killer actually did it. But this guy's claiming to know, and the Gemini killer's back, and he's killing kids and doing blackface Jesus and and stuff. So George C. Scott's hot on the trail of the Gemini killer that leads him to this hospital where his friend, who's
Baller Dyer.
I don't think he's related to the first one. I think he's just random drunk. Oh, he is?
Okay, Danny, how much does it hurt that this fucking moron is ruining this movie?
Shut the fuck up. Okay, so his buddy's now in
five.
the hospital, and George C. Scott grabs a Twinkie and limps his fat ass over there and says, like, hey, fuckface, and he goes, hey, fuck you, and then he dies by the Gemini killer, but he's been killed very, very particularly. He uses succinylcholine on all his victims to paralyze them. So George C. Scott locks down the hospital because he knows the Gemini killer's here. He suspects it's this old woman, and then goes to the psych ward where he sees that Father Karras is locked up in one of the things. He then proceeds to interrogate the Joker, Father Karras, who is the Gemini killer, which is another demon, not Pazuzu, who was sent by the devil to fuck Karras for fucking with Pazuzu. And Father Karras is the Gemini killer, but it's not really Father Karras, it's the Joker. So then, they keep talking to each other, more people die, the Joker has like really fancy chrome gardening tools, and it leads to really long monologues, but they're awesome. And then the priest that was Karras's friend knows about this somehow. I don't know how he knew, but he shows up, gets mutilated and burned alive, and then George C. Scott comes and says, fuck you, and shoots him in the face. The end. The fat man returns. But it's actually a pretty good movie.
So Shane, I'm the only one who's seen this movie before, and I kind of hyped this movie up because I fucking love this movie. But Shane, what's your kind of initial reaction to watching Exorcist 3 for the first time?
So I don't know if the movie's as good as I enjoyed it, because I just watched Exorcist 2, so this was like, oh, thank you. Thank you for not being so boring.
Did you watch 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so I was just so grateful that this was actually intriguing. George C. Scott was really fun to watch because you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's such an odd choice of how he acted, but it works. Basically, this whole movie is, if you take the big monologues out, which is hard to say because this is like a key point of the movie, but if you take those two big monologues out, it's kind of a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's a little meandering, meh. But then you insert I forgot the Gemini killer. I don't know what the demon's actual name was or whatever. Legion.
Yeah.
You insert Legion into it, and it goes to an 8 out of 10. Because what that actor does in that, and how that's filmed, and how it's constructed and written, is just powerful. It's really good. It's very charismatic. And George C. Scott just looks like he's gonna have a yeah. But I like the direction it took. It actually had like an author who knows how to tell a story's touch to it. It was tighter than the last one. And yeah, I liked it. I didn't like it more than the first one. That was your prediction. And it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm going to revisit all the time. But I enjoyed it. I wish number 2 was this. And they would have just deleted number 2.
Yeah,
George C. Scott's just so fat and angry.
So I love 1. I've always been watching 1 for like years. I always heard the sequels are terrible, so I never got into them. Then someone said try 3. 3's like different, and I'm like, I fucking love 3, like, because it has like so little to do with the original Exorcist. There's stuff in there we can get into, but I love like so much about this film. But Dan, let's hear from you. Like, what were your thoughts on 3?
It's The Exorcist, but not The Exorcist. It's a movie about a serial killer, which is wonderful to me. Which I realized that halfway through, I'm like, oh, like right after the scene, which is the scariest scene, in my opinion, through the whole like franchise, if you want to call it that. It's the priest in the confessional booth, and the other side of it is just black, and all you hear is the voice as it gets creepier and creepier. And I almost screamed out, I'm like, don't show it, because I was terrified to see what it actually looked like. And they did it, I'm like, okay, thank God.
The grandma. She's like, I can't stop killing people.
Yeah. The AARP didn't bring the check in.
This movie is literally just, I do think Blatty read a Batman comic with the Riddler, or somehow he got in that trans machine and saw the Batman with Robert Pattinson and was like, oh, that would be a good movie with a demon, though.
You watched the 89 one with Tim Burton and did this? Okay,
dude, if I could get a cut of George C. Scott replacing Robert Pattinson, the Batman.
I'm on the case.
God damn it, watch Macbeth.
The Zodiac. The Gemini symbol, the twins.
You showed me all it takes is fear and a little focused violence. You inspired me.
Would you shut your mouth?
No! This is not how this was supposed to go! I had it all planned out!
You son of a bitch! I believe!
Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were.
Okay, so here's some backstory on the film. So William Peter Blatty wrote the original one. He and Friedkin didn't always see eye to eye, but regardless, he did it. So then, eventually, he wrote a book to sequel The Exorcist called Legion. And then he somehow got the funds because, Exorcist was very popular to make his own movie. So then he made the Legion to this one and had like very little to no connection to the original one besides the same characters of Dyer and Karras and then Kinderman. So like very little like loose connection, but they wanted to see like the aftermath of all this, like seeing Kinderman and Dyer, what would happen, like 20 years later. And then they saw the original cut, like the idea, but they told Blatty he has to have an exorcism in this Exorcist movie because it wasn't originally supposed to have it. So then they kind of brought in that whole Father Morning, the guy who looks like Dr. Drew. They kind of made they added those scenes there in post. And they're not as strong, so that wasn't the original idea. But all that like those dialogues and those monologues, it feels like a play, and it just like that's just Blatty lifting it from his own book. It's very much written like a play. It's very staged like that. It's all about characters having these deep conversations about just like frustrations, being haunted by their past. Kinderman is the crankiest, fattest old man. He has no hope for the future. He's so nihilistic. He's had just 40 years of being a cop, losing like one of his oldest friends, and then losing his best friend of all time. It's like all this stuff is just making him hateful and just turns off his entire like nihilistic perspective of the entire world. So he's just this cranky, curmudgeon old man who's just like has the worst things happening to him in his old age. So it's all this tension. It's like that scene we talked about, the carp, it's just like, what the fuck's he talking about? But it's just like that circling tension, and just like it just keeps going and going. At some point, it's all going to explode into violence, and then this Gemini killer like somehow repossesses Karis's dead body, reconnects the brain tissue, whatever, and he's like doing this to mock the church and mock Kinderman and give him like no hope, basically to make him commit suicide and give up on the entire world.
Well, and it's like to punish Karis, because Karis' consciousness is there. He's just not in control. So he has to witness his body and himself murder all these people in terrible
slow,
ways.
Methodical, like medically just evil ways, and by using like these old like people too. He's just abusing all these things. It's so fucking amazing.
The grandma that crawls on the ceiling.
Yes.
I was like, oh, look at that. That's weird.
Yeah, but they also tapped into something that I don't like: old people. I just don't like being around old people ever, and so Blatty knows like old people are terrifying, and they should be the villains in all movies for now on.
Yeah, this, unlike 2, was written by someone that understands how to connect things, like the radio. All the old people are listening to the radio that's not there, and it's Legion speaking to them. The medical thing, I don't think they really tied that fully together. He just is a demon, so...
No, well, like the Gemini killer is like this, takes himself for like a like almost like kind of like a doctor, almost like physician. He's almost like an artist in a way, but then it kind of ties in like what Blatty's kind of doing is like showing like how all these institutions that we believe in are failing, right? The church is failing, the police are failing. They can't catch this Gemini killer. We can't trust hospitals. It's just like it's so 90s. It's so like nihilistic, and everything's fucked. Just like we're all screwed. Nothing good's gonna happen. Like everything is just we're all fucked as human race. It's so dark. It's so awful. It's so my kind of thing.
I'm glad you mentioned the carp thing, because my wife was like, what the fuck was that all? My wife does not appreciate it like I did, but she's like, he got done with the carp, and that little speech takes like 5 minutes, man, of him just be like, there's a carp upstairs. My mother-in-law, she cooks the carp. Tastes like shit. But, you know, the carp's in my bathtub, and it moves, and it swims.
But
it just keeps going, and he goes, I might have to kill it.
Yeah. But like, it's like, what the fuck's the point about that? But what I love about this dialogue, it makes you think about it. I'm like, well, what's the point of this? Because Blatty's a good writer and good director. I love the cinematography and the visuals, by the way. But like, the writing is there, and you just think about, okay, well, it's like this tasty thing that his mother makes out of kindness, and he hates it because he's just so fucking fed up and miserable with everything. He can't enjoy the nice things people do for him. He's even like mean to Father Dyer. They're constantly bickering like an old couple, and he's like so fed up with the world. It's just it fits in there. You just gotta think about it and just kind of process like, what the fuck is the point of this? But there is a point to all of it.
Well, I kind of took the carp too as like he doesn't like it too, because he sees this live fish and he knows it's gonna die, and he's so sick of seeing things die and be dead that he knows there's this thing upstairs that's just gonna die, and it's just another thing that upsets him. And like, it's good. I was kind of bored until we got to Legion. Like, I was hanging a little bit by a thread, and then we got to Legion, and my spark was reignited. Danny, what do you think about this movie?
Thank you, Shanner. Appreciate you not interrupting me for once.
Okay, cool. So, number 4.
No, I think going off what you both said earlier is that the monologues are wonderful, but then I feel like I appreciated them more as it went on, but then the balance of that with the hard edits with the most random, like, bam, 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 and then as like you see the head of like the statues of Christ there, or when you see the I forgot the actual medical term for the the cutters that he's zipping off heads with.
Bone, like
the garden shears.
The bone shears. Yeah, they cut through.
The bone. Just call them bone shears. Yeah, the random like bam bam. I'm like, what? I think I said wait what more times in this than the second one, because it was just so weird, but in a good way. But I'll say for the second one, I was more like turning my head, like what? More confused. This one, I was just kind of more enjoying it better. I really wanted George C. Scott just to keep saying, I've got one more month of this and I'm retiring of this shit. That's all I really wanted. And then like I wanted the last scene, him sit there like talking to Father Karras, like, you caught me at an ill time. I got one more week now. But
I like that it deviates so much from the fucking formula. Like, it's not about a Catholic priest. Like there's obviously fellow dyers there, and it's mentioned Karras, but it's about, like, this police officer doing a routine, quote-unquote, thing of, like, he's trying to solve these murders, and it falls into, like, once again, this unbelievable situation, kind of like in the first one, right? Like he's basically giving up on all the other logical things. We killed the Gemini. I watched him die. Here's a secret, like, thing, like, we didn't tell the paper, so, like, something is going beyond here. It's impossible that these old people are killing people. It just all these improbabilities. So then it just leads Kinderman to this point of, like, I have to, like, he has no faith in the world, and he has to also accept his fate and the reality. And then I don't want to jump in too far into the end there, but, like, that monologue at the end is, like, one of my favorite fucking speeches in all movie history, of just, like, him just fucking cursing the world and cursing everything. And I fucking love it. And
oh yeah,
and
he's like, I believe in wrath.
sin and hatred, and I love it. And then after I watched this movie, my wife and I were going somewhere shopping, and I drove past a bunch of Mormons knocking at someone's house, and I was like, I want George C. Scott to open the door and do that fucking speech to those guys. Hi, do you guys believe in Jesus?
Yes, I believe. I believe in death. I believe in disease. I believe in injustice and inhumanity and torture and anger and hate. I believe in murder. I believe in pain. I believe in cruelty and infidelity. I believe in slime and stink and in every crawling, putrid thing, every possible ugliness and corruption. I believe in you.
Him just rub his eyes and just sit on the ground going, oh, God damn it.
Can we talk more about George C. Scott's performance? Because, like, it's an odd choice. He's like, it's like he read a separate script. Like, I kind of picture, like, when Blatley wrote it, I don't know, I haven't read the book, but I picture, like, kind of like, I don't know what to call it, hacky, but, you know, the cop in a trench coat, and then typical noir, right? And he smokes cigarettes, and he's like,
do the voice.
It's just Batman, where he's just like, the rain is falling, filth on the streets, like, you know, that kind of thing. And Blatley's just like, or George C. Scott's just like, I'm tired and I'm bored, and carp is in my bathtub, and the Gemini. He's like bored, and he speaks weirdly. It's like poetic, but like an imbecile being poetic.
No, I totally disagree. Like, he's like frustrated, and like he's furious at just how he hates everything. Like everything is just broken him down to the point of just like there's so many points where like he gets so frustrated, he says shut up, and then he stops and almost starts crying because he's just so emotionally just done with it. His performance is fucking top notch. Brad Dourif is like so close to him too. Like his Joker performance is like, they're two of the best performances I've seen in a movie in like almost just forever. They're so good.
Is that the guy who played Legion? That was Brad
Dourif?
Yeah. Yeah, he killed it. He's obviously like the guy that steals it. He was given the most to work with. But like,
it's a novel.
You could just sit and watch those monologues without any context and enjoy it. It was really good. And I do like how, like, when Karis, when he's in the form, because, like, my wife and I were kind of thrown off at first because they don't sugarcoat, they don't, like, hand you anything. It's just like Karis is there and then it's this guy and we're like, what the fuck? We're like, did they just put a different actor in? Because it doesn't, you have to figure out that that's the demon talking. It's not hard to figure out, but at first you're like, what the fuck? Did they just run out of Karis time? Like,
it makes you think you're the detective trying to figure out what's going on, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's like a novel. It's like it's showing and not telling you what to fucking feel and think. That's why I love all those monologues. I love all this in this movie. It's just like I can see why it could be boring to people. Like, it's too much like a play. I could totally see that for some people, but for me, as like a person who loves just like people talking and like engaging, and like it doesn't tell you this is how you're supposed to feel. This is the part where you're supposed to be jump out and be afraid. There are a couple jump scares here, but like I love just like it sets it up and it wants you to think and process these slow scenes, and it wakes you up with the weird abrupt like snap out of it, George C. Scott. There's a fucking murder going on. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. There's things we also got to talk about and do. Also, Shane, drink.
I want to see this on the stage. Wait, what did I do?
You did something a while back. I was thinking about it. I was gonna wait.
Oh.
And then we can do it. Danny, sorry, Shane and I have been talking too much. What else you got, Dan?
I think I'm good on 3. You guys kind of hit it on the nail. Like, this one I'll watch, the first one, and this one I'll watch every year, I think, for Halloween, or in general.
I think it's definitely easily rewatched. You're right.
If I ever want motivation on like what good writing is in a movie, like this is a fucking like this is like a top notch performances, top notch writing. I love the cinematography too. I don't want to undercut. Like, it's simple and it's repetitive of like how it does those cuts. It's a little jarring to think those
zoom ins
cuts
too.
There.
Yeah.
Those snap zooms, the long takes, like one of the most infamous like jump scares of all time. That like 3-minute long take. You're like, something bad's gonna happen
in the
out of
hospital?
nowhere.
And it's
out of nowhere, snap zoom.
And it's not really even a jump scare. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't even call it
like
a jump scare.
Halloween.
Yeah, but you can call it that, but I'm like, it's just so like random, and it just like you're like, finally, oh my god, it's like a sigh of relief more than anything.
It's a release.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, but I fucking love this movie, and it's I don't love it as much as the original one, because I'll watch the original one, because this movie you got to be in a mood for. It's very dark and nihilistic and kind of like miserable. Exorcist I'll watch like once a year for Halloween, but I love it, and I'm glad you guys somewhat liked it like I did too. But it's phenomenal. It's fucking great. I love this movie.
So I have one more question before we move on, and I was thinking about it.
If it's Fast and Furious, I swear to God.
Have you boys heard about the Lamborghini Diablo?
That's real.
Oh no shit. Exorcist 3 is a good movie. I think that's easily said. Do you think that it wasn't as successful because Exorcist 2 was such dog shit? So people were like, I don't want to see 3. Like, who gives a fuck? Because I'm thinking, like, if you cut out 2 and 3 was number 2, would we have better Exorcist? Would Exorcist be different today than it is now? Because, like, you don't think about the Exorcist sequels very well, but 3 is in there, and it's not a bad movie. But anyone that you told, I don't know a lot of people that have seen Exorcist 3. So most people will be like, oh, Jesus Christ, Exorcist 3, really?
What do you think, Dan?
But I don't know if people that were fans of Exorcist would be happy if this was number 2, you know?
I think 2 and 3, if you compare them, they both did a smart thing. They both went the opposite direction, or did something totally different from the first one. The second one was just so boring and so bad that I think you're right, Shane, that it did taint the third one's success. I think the third one was the actual second one. It probably did a little bit better, but I think initially it probably wouldn't have done as well. But I think now, it's again that this third one was the second one. It probably would be better, like a little bit of a cult classic, you could say. I think the third one is more appreciated now than it was before.
I was gonna say, like, maybe it shouldn't have been marketed as Exorcist 3. They should have just called it Legion. But I think there's already a movie called Legion. It's about some angel that hunts fucking vampires or some dog shit.
Isn't that with Keanu Reeves?
No, it's with Paul Bettany, right?
Yeah,
Paul
I think
Blart?
that's a movie. I can't wait for you to cut it in and be like, yes, that's it. Oh, God, I knew I wasn't crazy.
I knew it was Paul Blart.
But if I had to theorize, like, I think both these movies were flops, and I don't know. I don't have the money in front of me there. I'm pretty sure they were.
3 was more than 2, barely though.
Yeah, but I think they were flops, and originally, Blatty didn't want this to be called Exorcist. He wanted to be called Legion, so there was a separation, which so he was like, no, you're not fucking gonna do that. Why are you gonna make Exorcist sequel and not call it The Exorcist? We're trying to make some money back, idiot. So
he's like, because you fucked it up so bad with number 2.
So I don't know, like, all the other Exorcist movies after this have the exact same thing. Young person, possessed by demon, there's an exorcism, there's the same things. So this is like the one that stands above everything else of being so far different and removed. I think, like you said, Dan, people now are seeing it for like the quality it is, but if this came out today or it came out as a second movie, I think it still would have not done well because it's not what people wanted at the time because the time the Exorcist comes out, it's like a phenomenon. People are freaking out about all this, and then the exorcism in this movie is literally like added on in the end. And the original ending was
super. It's last 5 minutes, if that, the actual exorcism.
Yeah,
and like I think it's effective and it works because you have that good speech like for George C. Scott at the end, but it feels almost like tacked on, kind of in there because the original ending was
right?
just. Yeah, because original ending.
Yeah, Father Dyer comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
with, like, no prompting.
It's literally tacked on there because they have to have an exorcism in an exorcism movie. But the original ending was just what's his name? Kinnaman walks in and shoots and kills Karras. But this one is more cinematic, so that's the only part of this thing that's flawed is that whole father mourning, all that stuff like the bird and stuff. That feels very just tacked on and doesn't feel like it interconnects.
I forgot about the bird.
Because it's so forgettable. It's not forgettable part, but getting it to the end there, it works.
Oh yeah, that's right. The cross drops and it goes upside down. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that whole thing, which is another callback to the Exorcism movie. Here's my question.
This is the only one with boobs.
The Nun.
It is
there's
not.
boobs in this one. Oh,
the second one has National Geographic tits.
Oh yeah, those don't count.
Oh, Danny, I've been breaking the rule, haven't I? Oh shit! Sorry, Shane, I fucked up.
I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna say it later, so Shane didn't realize it. Shane needs a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say. I could make it obvious.
But I fucked it up though. So Shane, we had 2 words to begin with you for our cursed words. It was either going to be boring or tits. and
or boring
Danny,
tits.
And Danny and I agreed to do tits, but then my dumb drinking brain thought it was boring. You kept saying boring and boring, so I kept getting you, and now I'm like, oh shit, I fucked up. So I'll drink as an apology.
Damn, I've been drinking split pea soup for no fucking reason.
Wait, I thought I screwed up with my word.
Mm-mm.
No,
you're still good.
I'm still good. Oh, okay.
No, I fucked it up. It's supposed to be.
I warmed
tits,
my split pea soup up.
I did too, but it's gotten cold.
It has beer in it.
Okay, here's my question for you, gentlemen. What would your George C. Scott miserable monologue be about in your life? Dan, I'll start with you.
Oh God,
if you...
Shane, go first.
Never mind, Shane. I'll start with you. What would your miserable George C. Scott monologue be about?
I just picture like, I believe in James Johns Ford, where only you can get a good deal on an all-new Mustang. Come now for 3.9% APR, no money down.
Is he ejaculating? What are you doing there, Shane?
I believe at a fair price for a good quality Ford.
Mine would be about I'm fucking tired and sick of Blumhouse taking movie franchises I love and making them cheap fucking cash-ins. Do you know what you're fucking doing to me? You're ruining my Halloweens. God damn it, I believe in fucking money. Money!
That's a...
Okay, Dan, what would your miserable George C. Scott rant be about?
I think I'm thinking I'm going to go piggyback off yours, Ron. He would just complain about all the Marvel movies. Think so. I can see him doing that. Like,
I believe in
a woman doing
Captain
this.
Marvel and friends.
Just bring back the raccoon. That's all I want is the raccoon.
The raccoon makes me laugh.
I want a whole movie with just the raccoon.
Eating trash out the fucking dumpster. And the tree.
And the
Bring
tree
the
guy.
sour sap.
I would do that one, but another one I would do. His voice would be funny, but I don't think he would do it. And you might have to cut this one out, Ron. If he just complains about how there's too many genders now, just doing a rant for 10 minutes. Like, what?
Let's move on.
Fuck
Okay,
is this? You were a dolphin yesterday.
I'm fucking done.
Does George C. Scott live in my town now?
Oh. Yeah, I'm not saying he agrees with it. I just want his voice with a rant. That's all I want. Yeah.
Yeah. I
would
would
be hilarious
I would,
just
yeah,
to
that'd
have
be
him
funny.
be the voice of Fox News.
Now you want to get married?
I didn't go that far, but okay.
Demon or dumbass, before we do our halfway point here. The Yuki Onna is a snow demon, which is a male spirit that would prey on lost travelers in Taiwanese mountains and is the inspiration for the Baba Yaga myth in many island Asian cultures. True or false?
Is Yuki Y-U-K-I, right?
Yep.
Sounds like you're describing a Yeti.
Or an Eskimo.
Inuit.
They don't listen to this podcast. We're good.
They don't get reception out there.
I just picture is like all these have been like a Blumhouse movie where a college professor is called by the haunted family and he's like, "Oh, what you got is a Yukiana." They were Tibetan.
Can we
spirit
stop podcasting and I'll just start writing fucking scripts for this?
Yeah, we just pumping them out. I'm gonna say false.
Okay.
I go true. I know it's Asian for sure because I shout out to Phasmophobia, the video game for ghost hunting.
It is false.
Is that the one where you take a photo?
What?
Oh, continue. Sorry, false. There's a game where you take photos of ghosts.
No, what I'm talking about is ghost hunting. You figure out one of the 24 ghosts. It's pretty fun.
Oh, the 13 Ghosts with Matthew Lillard.
Oh,
that's a great movie.
Watch our podcast Scream from 2 years ago.
Or Scooby-Doo.
Some asshole on I'm not calling it X. Some asshole on Twitter was making fun of Matthew Lillard, and the world was lighting him up. And I was like, "Oh, you bitch! You don't know. Everyone knows Matthew Lillard."
Name
How
now.
Dare you, sir?
Give me the name now. I'll finish it.
Okay. It's actually false. It's a female spirit, and the Baba Yaga shit. I made it up, and it's in Japan, obviously not Taiwan.
Wait, you lost me when you're like Baba Yaga in Pacific Islands. I'm like, you dumb fuck. That Baba Yaga's Russian.
No, it's not.
Or like Eastern European.
No, it's also. I think it's also.
That's John
Filipino.
Wick.
The Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga is also Filipino, dude.
Want me to ask?
I might just be an asshole.
Okay, let's look.
Babe, is the Baba Yaga Filipino?
No, it's Slavic. I'm wrong.
Cut that one out, or just bleep some things.
Did you phone a friend?
Yeah.
Like, no. Oh, okay.
Wait,
Shane's
she left the
not right.
apartment. Never mind.
I thought it was Asian.
Yuki is for sure Japanese. I know that. Or I guess you said Baba
Yeah,
Yaga.
but I thought Baba Yaga was
Is
also
that like
an
the
Asian
one that
thing.
haunts classrooms?
Asia,
The
Asia's
Yuki Yano one is actually all the things about it, like the Lost Travelers and shit, was real. But I just made up the Baba Yaga and then the male spirit thing. Shane, get one for us.
Oh, it is female. Damn it.
I don't even want to play this anymore. It's
Okay.
dumb.
Oh no, Shane, I want more.
The Hennessy Exorcist Camaro.
Falso.
This is my response, Shane. Never mind, it don't work.
It's a real car.
Oh, really? I don't know. Dude, I literally don't know cars. Like, you've known me for, like, 25 fucking years. I don't know cars.
Demon Benz Bentley. Can we have, like, a trigger for the song so we can get this?
No, that sounds like a Rob Zombie song. Deemer, Benz, Bentley.
Demon, Benzo, Bentley. Demon, Benzo, Bentley.
And my cum sluts.
Oh, dang it.
My jeans is never empty in my beans are Benzo, Bentley.
Everybody fucking a UFO. Everybody fucking a UFO.
I like Rob Zombie a lot. I want to see his movies. I like everything he represents.
Oh, you should watch House of a Thousand Corpses. I watched it for the first time like a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
It is like the worst movie ever made. It is so fucking bad.
Boobies.
It's entertaining. It's dumb.
No, but like the filmmaking itself is so awful. Like it is like college level, like college film level. If the person was on like so many drugs, it's so bad. Okay,
it is. Like
I think I watched it on TV back in the day or a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, it's so awful. Okay, gentlemen, we're halfway through. We talked about, in my opinion, 2 phenomenal films out of 6, and now it's all goddamn down from here. Dan, there is no God left for us.
There is no God here, priest.
I think I said that like 16 or 17 times in the group chat. All right, 3, 2, Pazuzu, go.
And
so there's Nazis, and
Val
Nazis
Kilmer,
who
Jesus
like
wonders
shoot someone and
Crusader
Stellan Skarsgård, it's
battlefield
like,
and
fuck
finds
you.
demon statue, and
So then he shoots him, and
Egypt,
Stellan
Father
Skarsgård's
Mary's
like,
drunken,
okay, should
harasses
kill those
poor
guys.
children,
So
and is
then
tasked to find
he
an
becomes
ancient
a Nazi,
Christian
but
thing
he's
in
not
Kenya.
a Nazi, he's
Expedition
Dutch.
Marin's actually
But then
meets
he
his nemesis,
goes
and
to
Mrs. Lefant
Africa
named
because he doesn't
Brit
want to
Top,
be,
and
then he's
Barnacle Boy
hired
and
by a
CGI,
British guy, and the
hyenas,
British
and
guy's
it's
like,
Nazi Madden.
how about you
touched by the
getting
devil there.
in, go
And then
find
after
us a
suicide,
demon.
they
And
make
he's
out
like,
with a child,
I'm a Nazi
and
now. And he's
Susan,
like,
the
you're not a
baby.
Nazi, you're British.
And
And
then
he's
the
like,
British are
okay.
coming to kill the
So
black
they
people.
go, and then
And
they
the
meet this
Vatican covers
kid,
up,
and this
and then
kid's
there's
all
Lucifer,
fucked up, and there's a
and then they keep
nurse.
fucking that
But
kid in
the
the
guy,
church,
and
and
then,
then
I mean, this
Lucifer
guy's like
gets the
really
shit,
fucked
and
up. He's
fuck
like,
it.
hey, you
Say,
guys.
You shut your mouth!
This was a race and not a
And there's
marathon.
hyenas, and the hyenas eat the Christian kid. But no, that's in the 4th one. In this one, the African guy comes in and kills all the kids, not the hyenas.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's give you some context where we jump into Exorcist in the beginning. In 2000, the Universal re-released The Exorcist into theaters. It made a bunch of money because a new generation saw it. So they're like, hey, let's profit off of this new boom for Exorcist movies, and we're going to give Paul Schrader, known for writing and directing, and his films are among either amazing or absolute shit trash. Like, he directed one of my favorite films of all time called The First Reformed, and he also directed that movie Canyons with Lindsay Lohan where she shows her tits.
Ooh.
So that's the filmography. He also wrote Taxi Driver. He wrote Taxi Driver. Like, he's literally written some of the best movies and some of the worst things of all time. So he made a movie called Dominion. And when the studio saw it, they said, we can't market this shit. So they instead fired him, hired Rennie Harlan to reshoot the entire fucking movie and remake The Exorcist, the beginning. The movie bombs in theaters, so then they just end up releasing the Dominion anyway. So there are 2 Exorcist 4 films. And they're not good.
It should be 4.5.
And
the
they're
second one. Yeah.
different, but same.
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
And they're both bad for different reasons.
Shane, you said it perfectly. It's like deja vu. It's just fucking awful. Of just like, what the hell am I watching? But I'll start with the Exorcist the beginning. That's my cross to bear, and then I'll talk about it very fucking quickly, and then we'll get into yours, Shane. Then we'll just steamroll through this bullshit really quickly. Okay. 2004, Indiana Jones. Try it again. Exorcist the Beginning.
In the temple of bullshit.
Exorcist the Beginning, 2004. Indiana Jesuit and the Church of Satan's White Guilt. Starts off with Val Kilmer Jesus wanders around a Crusader battlefield and finds the devil statue and decorations for a metal concert, which is a bunch of upside-down crucifixes. Then, in 1949...
It's a Slayer concert.
Then in 1949, a CGI Egypt... Father Marin is drunk and harasses poor children, because of course he does, and is tasked to find an ancient Christian artifact at a church where no church should be. Because, if you know history, no. Then in Kenya, exposition is to be found, and a Catholic priest partner who is obviously lying is tasked to follow around Marin for no reason. Marin then meets his nemesis, a miserable cunt named Bricktop, and a woman lady. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy then go to the dig site and excavate a church, but no one will enter because of evil! And CGI hyenas and a rash of random seizures. The Whiteys conquistador their way into the first church of Satan, obviously in Africa, because where else would it be? In a flashback, we see Marin is a Nazi priest, and hyenas eat a little black boy while his little brother smiles because he got his shiv back. In Rick Sanatorium in Nairobi, Madden meets a priest who is touched by the devil, which is the first time a priest was molested by evil and not the other way around. After a suicide, a makeout session, a child seizure, a maggot baby delivery, Madden learns that Satan likes secret tunnels and bloody vaginas. Then the British are coming to kill black people, and the blacks are coming to suck the blood out of a child, I shit you not. The Vatican cover-up, Lucifer fell to earth, yada yada yada, Brits shoot black people, because that's what they do.
That's what it was?
They take the fucking kid into the Church of Lucifer, then exorcist shit happens, fuck at the end.
Wait, that's what it was? It was Lucifer's tomb?
That's where they suspected that this is where Lucifer fell to earth.
Oh, this is just the Pope's exorcist all over again. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I knew it was built
They
around
said
him, but
that.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Pazuzu
Because Shane
again.
does too many drugs and watch these movies in succession.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, I'm not denying that, but you're wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was Pazuzu's tomb. That's my bad.
Yeah, well, you're not paying attention. Deanne, what are your thoughts on this movie?
Wait, should we do Shane's?
No,
Or,
let's fucking put down this dog first, and then we'll jump in.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
put down
these
this
movies are
hyena first.
these movies are entirely separate. Like
Yeah, they are different.
The setting and a couple characters are the same, but almost exactly different.
Yeah.
And
I do like how you said Bricktop. I was like, look, it's him. And he's a horrible cunt.
The miserable fucking cunt named Bricktop.
Yeah. I didn't.
That would have been awesome if he's like, do you know what a nemesis is?
Oh, a legion is.
That's why I wrote it in my thing, Shane.
I know you wrote it. But does he have syphilis?
He has demon pox.
Oh, yeah.
Typical. I didn't hate this film, if we're being honest. Until the ending. The ending got schlocky, and I got over it. Certain elements I liked. The hyena thing was nuts. I guess the simple plot of Lucifer coming down, and that's how that church was there, and then the fact that Father Marin is like an archaeologist, kinda. I didn't hate that plot. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can go with that. But then it just progressively got schlockier and schlocky. And then the fact that the woman is the one that's possessed, I'm like, I'm out. I just don't care anymore. Like she got possessed because it switched, right? Because wasn't it the boy, and then it went to
switch, yeah.
Yeah, she was possessed the whole time. It was her and her husband.
Yeah, but then the boy was possessed though. But so then, like, I know that, but then it wasn't.
Well, she was fucking with him to make it look that way.
That's where that's where I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, that's where I'm like, what's going on here?
It doesn't make any sense.
Because there's a scene where like the hyena eats his brother and he's like smiling. So it doesn't make sense. Is she controlling the hyenas or is the boy doing it? It's all nonsense.
She's not even there. I can get if she's there watching when when that tribe is trying to kill him and they're holding her back, I can see like, oh, she's controlling the child maybe, but she's not even there for that. She's like, oh, what happened last night? While she's trying to slog or gargle Skarsgård's mouth.
Stellan Skarsgård's.
Yeah.
They made it her just so they could say the line, "Ah, priest, you wanted to put your cock in her ass, huh?" And you're like, "Oh, yeah, there it is."
Yeah.
So he was a priest in a town where the Nazis invaded, right? But you said he was a Nazi priest, Ron.
That's me doing my sarcastic bullshit.
God,
No,
okay,
no,
okay.
He wasn't literally a Nazi.
Okay, I'm just making.
got fucked
His name
with
is
by the Nazis.
Skarsgård, okay? He's a fucking...
Move out, you didn't Skarsgård. I did kind of. I like that the flashbacks of him going back to the Karis thing, like just, or even you can go George C. Scott thing, just dealing with the past constantly, like with that, and then now he's got to deal with this demon thing and what's going on. I like that concept, but again, I didn't hate this film. The next one I didn't watch. I hated, but that one I kind of hated. But we can get to that when we get there. There isn't a monkey man as the possessed, which that one we might have to bleep a lot, but we'll get there.
We'll fucking get there. I hated this movie. Like, this is like my least favorite of all of them. And I know that's
What?
Okay,
Okay, sorry.
These last three are all like tied for shittiest, but I hate this movie, and here's the specific reason why. Because it has all the same bullshit that Exorcist movies have, besides any of the good filmmaking, the acting, the coherence, and they just made it into a shitty 2000s horror movie. You have a woman running around in a towel, you have this stupid CGI gore, you have a huge like body count you're adding. This is not a thing in these movies. You have all these bullshit jump scares. You just like they're putting all this thing like this. Oh, this switcheroo with the mystery. Who is it? They took an Exorcist movie and made it like a 2000 shitty fucking horror movie. So I hated this. I fucking hated everything about this movie. But like the other ones suck too. Like it's all like a fucking like turd race. They're all terrible and they're all finishing last. But this one really fucking irked me. I think coming off of 3 to this one was fucking just frustrating as shit for me.
Wait, Ron.
I see your point.
Sorry, Shane. Before we go, have you guys seen these next 3 or next 2? Sorry, for that matter. Before. No,
I've seen this one a couple times.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
The only one I've never seen before was 2.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Sorry, Shane.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
2. I can see where, because I would describe 4 as a nothing burger. It's like eating air, where you go to bite a burger, and it's just air, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? It doesn't taste bad. It's inoffensive, but you're just it's nothing.
Burger King.
What the fuck was the point of this? But 2 is boring as fucking balls, but at least it's different. I've never seen a movie like Exorcist 2. Nor do I want to anymore. But I have seen, like you said, 15 movies that are identical to Exorcist 4. Like,
there's no risks.
It's literally a paint by numbers. It looks pretty good. It looks okay. You know, it's inoffensive. It doesn't take any risks. It's, like you said, it's by the numbers, which I can see why that offends you more, because it takes the art out of it. But yeah, it's not a good movie. It's just a nothing burger. It's fucking dumb. I hate when they always make it Lucifer. They always have it, like, just make it a demon. Like,
that's even like
when
the
you
whole
make
thing in
it
the
the
first
literal
movie.
They always do that in the newer movies, because it's like it has to be the man, like the devil. When you make it such a big thing, it's like, oh, so some random priest can literally battle the king of hell. Like, why not just a demon? You can keep it smaller scale, keep it a little more contained.
To play
And then just the logistics of building a church around Satan. What, is Satan unconscious? Like, how the fuck did you pull that off?
To play Pazuzu's advocate, though, Shane, it's easier to say the
Oh,
devil.
dang it, Ronnie. Beat me to it. Son of a bitch.
It's better to say the devil versus Pazuzu or Bughuul. I'm agreeing with you.
Good on Lilith.
Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't make sense in any slice to use the devil as the main antagonist, but Satan versus made up bullshit name from any current horror film franchise as a little harder.
Insert another demon name that no one knows. How about that? See?
Yeah. And then we have this weird B plot about British expeditionary dudes fighting Africa, just basically the movie Zulu.
Yeah, the British deserve to be chastised for their terrible treatment of the world, but comparing them to Nazis is pretty fucking interesting to do on your part as a filmmaker. To put them side by side of the atrocities of Nazis.
To make them the mirror.
Little things like that, maybe go giggle.
I am not defending the imperialism and the terrible fucking hundreds of years of bullshit the British have done to millions of people, but comparing them side by side to Nazis, it's a little okay.
Well, and it's hard to watch because if you're gonna have a villain like the Major, at least give us something to hold on to with him.
Butterflies.
He's just I'm racist and that's that.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. And you're okay, cool. There's nothing here.
And I think the not the biggest offensive, but the thing that really pissed me off, and knowing that this movie came after Dominion, it was filmed afterwards. Stellan Skarsgård is the most miserable fuck in the entire world in these movies. He's a good actor. He is so fucking lazy and bored and bad in this movie.
He is a blank sheet of paper, just moving through the scene.
It is. It's a more coherent movie than Dominion, and it's not as fucking as stupid as The Believer, but man, do I just hate. This is what horror movies have become in the 2000s, and I think it's just kind of looking back on this 20-year-old movie, I fucking hate everything about this.
It was kind of like a really shitty Mummy.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of movies that I've seen, but shittier versions of them.
Yeah, and I like the idea that it's not a kid, and they're going somewhere different. They tried to change the story, but then they didn't, and it's so generically 2000s. I fucking hated every minute of it. This one was hard to watch. I was I hate this shit so much. But
yeah,
I've seen it a couple times and rewatching it. I was
I was thinking, if Satan got a hold of us and put us in podcast hell, he'd be like,
that we already are.
I am going to make you watch one movie for all of time, and it's going to be Exorcist the beginning. And I would definitely try to slit my own throat faster than if he said I'm going to watch Exorcist 2.
Really?
Because at least Exorcist 2, I could try to for the rest of time, I feel like I could do more analysis on Exorcist 2. Exorcist 4 is just being made to watch your parents do missionary in front of you the rest of your life.
Only you can just have the most wonderful similes and metaphors, Shane, that would just make everyone uncomfortable.
So this has been Waste Potential Podcast. I will talk to y'all later.
Shane's description of Exorcist 4. Watching your parents do missionary in front of you.
We're just going to have
the headline.
Shane describing all of them in terrible
and then proceeds to say it's inoffensive.
Wasn't that bad.
Kind of good.
4 stars. I don't really have much more to say about this because we got to get into Dominion, and Dominion's a whole fucking other shit show. Dan, anything else to kind of add to this shit nonsense?
No.
Shane?
Just let Shane talk about his Fast and Furious trivia real quick.
Okay.
I'd rather listen to that than talk about this movie and next one.
I have more to talk about with Dominion. Not good things to say, but I have some interesting kind of thoughts.
I am a little shocked, though. I thought everyone would be in agreement with me that this one was better than the second one.
I think as a film that's coherent, yes.
Okay.
But I just think as a person who loves horror film, and seeing The Exorcist evolve into like this, like Shane describes it, paint by numbers, like Mad Libs nonsense, is just like, it's so fucking frustrating. 2's awful, but like on the grading scale of Exorcist sequels, 2 is my top 3. I'm just not saying much.
There was some legitimate effort.
Yeah,
that went into 2. It was just dumb.
It's like
they just were too stupid to pull it off.
It's like they planned an awesome Evel Knievel stunt, and then that motherfucker just like hit every fucking ramp, fell down every
front
hill.
Tire
and just
came
kept
off
going.
as he was leaving the ramp.
Blew up.
He hit every single bus across the way.
But man, was it kind of interesting to be like, huh? It would be interesting to see what that jump would have looked like if he actually landed it.
Yeah, if he didn't die.
Yeah, if he didn't die, it'd be interesting to see how this.
If there wasn't a hole in the ramp, how about that? Yeah.
Exorcist 4 is the guy that jumps over a kid pool and goes, "Ta-da!
Look at me, Dad!
Like,
I did it!
Suck.
I did it, Dad!" And it's like, "Yeah, you did. You fucking."
God damn it!
I think that,
or it's like a magician where you could see the card in his palm as he's like, "Oh, where did it go?"
It's a toddler doing magic.
Or the hat, the rabbit out of the hat, and you see blood in the hat. It's like, ta-da, it's gone.
And you hear the sad sound of a bunny dying. Okay.
I would have rather done fentanyl than watch 4.
I know a guy.
You want some?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
right.
Demon
Okay,
or
my
dumbass? Moloch is a biblical minotaur demon that was a warrior angel who fell with Lucifer that the Ammonites would sacrifice children to. True or false?
Ammonites.
You first, Danny.
Going back to Catholic school. Oh, I won't go back to those days. Never mind. I don't want to go back to those days. Oh, not anymore.
Not Father Marin.
Please, God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away.
Not Pazuzi. not Pazuki.
Not in my Pazuzu.
Pazuki hole. Let's go true.
I did it all for the Pazuzi. She can take that cookie and shove it up your...
Dude.
That'll be our...
Remind me at the end of this podcast for B-roll to talk about where Limp Bizkit is now.
Sounds good.
I have video evidence. It's incredible.
Okay.
I was going to do something better for the podcast. That should be on a shirt. Do it for the Pazuzu. What would you say, Ron?
Do it for the Pazuzu.
Yeah. Do it for the... I did it for the Pazuzu. You could take that... Exorcist sequels and shove it up your...
I went to this restaurant and ordered a Pazuki and got a Pazuzu.
That'll be our Wasted Potential's first shirt. You can get it on patreon.com.
Where someone thinks they ordered a Pazuki and you just come out and throw split pea soup on them. Oh, I got a Pazuzu.
It's James Earl Jones, though. He's the one who throws it in your face.
All right, I'm going to say... I'm surprised how many of these demons I fucking know. I don't know where I'm getting this all, but no, isn't Moloch an owl god?
Danny, what'd you say?
That, like, bunch of billionaires go and fuck each other and
No,
worship?
I said true.
It's true.
I'm saying false. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't...
What am I thinking
He
of?
said all... Yeah. Sorry, Ron.
Yeah, Moloch's also a name of, like, I think some kind of vampire from some movie, too. So, like,
All right,
it's all nonsense made up by religions, and people steal them and use them for their movies, right? Like, people steal these same names. Like, all these names I have are going to be things you heard of before, just like what their origin is.
Yeah.
I've seen it in one of the Insidious.
Right.
Or Sinister. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them. Something with Ethan Hawke in it.
Same movie. Shane, do you have any more Beamer, Benz, or Bentleys?
Beamer versus Lamborghini versus Demon thing, whatever you want to call it.
Demon.
I'm not giving up on this, Shane. I'm here for you.
Have you heard of the
Toro?
Dodge Demon?
Yes.
I'm gonna say false.
No, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I'll drink my fucking pea soup.
Yeah.
Are you still drinking that, dude?
Dodge,
I did it
Dodge
once.
likes to do that. Yeah.
Every time I get something wrong,
Dodge got a couple devil cars.
every time I get it wrong, I drink
I
it.
like split pea soup. I'm enjoying
What
it.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I like split pea soup.
Are you
but
fucking
it makes me
broken?
fart like a son of a bitch.
You know what's funny? The one I'm drinking, it's tasteless. So, doesn't matter.
That's
Dude.
really offensive. You got the Exorcist 4 soup.
Like you said, I got Progresso.
Split pea is you have to do bacon in it.
I got the
You have to
Pazuzu.
cook the bacon. You gotta salt it.
Shane, like, I know the answer to this, but who hurt you in your life that you like split pea soup?
I love split pea soup. You just haven't had good split pea soup. You've had fucking Universal Studios
This
soup.
is literally the only...
I'll cook you some good George C. Scott split pea soup.
This is the only time I've ever had it in my entire life, and it's fucking awful.
You gotta put a carp in it.
Green split pea soup doesn't even like itself. Fuck off, Shane.
It took a whole dose of fentanyl and died.
You will poop after having a good split pea.
But Pete took a whole overdose of fentanyl and died. It hates itself so much.
A lot of fiber.
Split my pea rather than having split pea soup.
So, this riveting split pea conversation. It's now time for Exorcist 5. Edge of Tomorrow. Father Marin wakes up in Groundhog's Day, where he's once again invaded by the Nazis and asked to pick people at random to shoot. He says no, so they say, we'll kill everyone. He says, no, kill those old guys. And they go, no, too late. We're going to start killing people. So this is the same fucking movie, but filmed in reverse order and with much more emphasis on British Nazism. Still goes to Africa, but this time instead of being hired like Indiana Jones at a market in Iraq, he's forced via visa mail to find it for the British, and he's given another young priest. They must have filmed different movies because they're different actors.
Like 90% of the fucking movies are entirely different.
An actress.
Yeah, but it's still same. So they go African. He overworks the Africans as they dig this. So he's basically a Nazi. As he digs up the temple, and hyenas don't attack this time. It's one of the tribesmen kills the kids for learning Christianity, and then the British start killing everybody, but then they don't. Then he kills himself. Marin's still... but the big difference is instead of the kid being possessed, it's now this...
Do it. Say
it. He's like a real, hey, you guys kind of thing.
The one with the teeth.
Yeah, but they found him, and he's one of the tribes.
He's an outcast because he's deformed, so I think he's like demonic or he's cursed, so they cast him out into like the outskirts.
But then he is.
Yeah, literally. He becomes what they...
Yeah, but he's healing at a rapid rate because he's all fucked up.
But
and for some reason, like, they care about him. I don't understand.
Okay, so they bring in the doctor to fix his leg, which is like supposed to be like a miracle, but some reason they fix all of him. But then he's also demonic. It's fucking nonsense.
He's got a limp leg and a limp arm, right? Yeah.
But then he turns out to be the demon.
No way.
And it basically just follows it again. You gotta go to the Lucifer's temple to perform the baptism, but then the exorcism goes awry, and everyone's going, wow, woo! But Marin doesn't want to ever act, so he just goes, meh. And it's the same thing again, but just add the filter that they... At least number 4 has, like, it's dark.
Yeah.
And, like, it looks pretty sharp. Like, it looks pretty well filmed. This looks like it's all blown out.
Looks like a fucking
and, like,
TV
a
show.
weird light. Yeah, and I was like, are they going for a 70s look? Because it kind of looks like a shitty 70s movie. But, like, filmed with modern equipment. And it's all, like, bright and oversaturated and, like, it's fucking weird and awful.
Yeah.
And it's baffling on multiple levels on the choices. Like, and the actors they chose aren't as good as number 4, which isn't saying much.
No.
But they are worse.
So much worse.
The story's dumber. the progression of the story is dumber.
Yeah,
and it has the same ending.
It's so fucking it's so slow.
So slow. Holy, at least number 4 has some pace to it.
The first hour of this movie is like, this is the one, like, I was looking forward to seeing this one because I've seen it before but didn't remember it. And I was like, oh, this is the biggest disappointment of just like an hour of slogging. So I had to start and stop it 3 times. And then the ending, there's parts that pick up, but goddamn, is it like the first thing I noticed, same thing, Shane. The first scene when like the Nazis, I'm like, this is so overlit. Why is it overlit? And then every subsequent scene after that is so overlit. Like, what's going on? And like behind the scenes, Paul Schrader got no money to finish this. Like, absolutely nothing. So it's not like his complete vision. Whatever. I'm not excusing it because it's fucking boring regardless.
I don't know. Yeah, if he had anywhere to go with it.
No, it's like he had a rough cut to show producers and then they fired him. So like there's enough like for example, remember like last year we talked about The Crow? That's not a finished movie. Like they had to do a lot of stuff to fix it. They gave him money though. This one doesn't feel finished. This feels like there's so many connecting tissues missing from it.
How I picture what happened is they wanted to do like an Exorcist 3 kind of thing where it's more of a thinker, I guess, but still had, and so 5 was shot first, I'm assuming.
Yes. That's what
because
I said earlier.
Yeah, it's really bad, and like I'm sure the studios are like, holy fuck, like what do we do? Like it's a piece of shit. It's so boring. It looks terrible. And then they gave it to a strip club owner. And he's like, all right, I can chop it down here. We'll like darken everything up. And they just put the if I could do like a Michael Bay filter on it, you know, like
a 2000s
where they're like, it's not going to make it a
filter,
good movie, but it's going to cut it down and get us at least some viewers. And it's weird because I don't want to say that number 4 is a more competent film. I guess compared it is. From
like a plot standpoint, it is.
But it's like if a kindergartner handed his home video to a high schooler. Obviously, the high schooler would be able to make it more adult. But and then Exorcist 2 is the same film, but it's just handed to a master's graduate.
Who's done a
in
bunch
philosophy.
Of fucking like cocaine and then forgot what they learned in their master's program and just did nonsense.
Yeah, but they're studying like liberal arts.
Or like late era Nietzsche where it's just some fucking jacking off and doing nothing.
Yeah, they no, it's an undergraduate that went into his first English class. Yeah, or philosophy class.
There we go.
And then wrote The Exorcist.
Class.
Yeah. Yeah. 5 is really awful. It needs to be burned.
Yeah, like 4 for like an A through B like plot is more of a movie. This movie is an hour of meandering, and then, in my opinion, the last 30 minutes don't get better, but there's like things that kind of interest me more than 4, but it's still fucking unbearably bad.
So you guys both prefer 4 over 5, though, you said?
Yes.
If I had to rewatch another one...
But that's not saying much. That's like saying I prefer...
I know that, but yeah.
...to get raped differently.
That's my argument for everything. It's like... It's so bad. It's so sad, or even also bad, that 5 was technically filmed first, but 4 is the more, you could say, competent movie, but also
Completed.
You can complete it and competent movie, but it's the better movie because it got more Hollywood influence and more money for it. And 5 is like, push it out, go, just do it. And it made...
Why did they release 5?
Because they try to recoup their losses from 4 because they released it flopped because they spent the money. They released it in small theaters, like barely anyone saw it anyways, and they thought maybe we can recoup this somehow. It's all mismanaged and like bad, and
it somehow cost them more money.
Yeah, I know. It's all like awful, but like, fuck, I'm trying to think of the positives. Okay, so all these movies that gets really bogged down and annoying. It's like the Halloween movies. I think any horror franchise, you have one movie, maybe two if you're lucky, and then they all fucking repeat themselves. It's annoying because it's the same theme. The loss of faith. You gotta find your faith in something. Humanity, God, whatever. But, so it's fucking awful. But then the one thing I thought was interesting in this movie, that is the very end when like, I don't even know. Is it the devil in this one?
I honestly can't tell you. I blocked out. I watched it, but I was in like that Exorcist 2 trance where I felt like I was in the room. And I was like, no, I'm trapped in here with Pazuzu.
Do you remember, Dan? What is the demon?
You know what? I don't think I remember anything at the end. I think I gave up.
And I think that's the best way to describe this movie. It's so fucking forgettable of nonsense, but
Yeah.
I know I said I watched all of them. This one, I was so pissed that it's the same movie because this is what I originally was supposed to watch for my second one to review. And I text you around, I'm like, it's the same fucking movie. I was pissed, and I just gave up halfway through. After Cha-Ching or Chong-Ching, we figured out he was for sure the possessed person. I'm like, I'm done. I think I'm out. Wasn't it his name? Cha-Ching?
Chi-Chi.
Something like that.
It's Chi-Chi, yeah. Or my only note for this movie is watching Dominion made me want to be Cha-Ching and then kill myself.
So the one thing I like about this movie that was a little different, and like this is like me saying, I like this concept, which gives me like 1% more of liking 5 over 4. This idea of like it's about guilt. So he gives, which is ironic because this movie is the same movie as the last movie. He gives Father Merrin a chance to go back in time and release his guilt. So he's tempting him. So it's kind of an interesting idea that like this demon gives him a chance to tempt himself, and he's not asking him for money or gold or getting blowjobs from nuns. He's like, you can release your guilt in the world. Like, you can feel better. You just have to give up on God and kind of just like forgive yourself, and I can give that to you if you just accept it. And then he goes back in time and realizes it's all pointless, and then the demon's like, yeah, but you don't have guilt. It's something you can have done. It's not on you. It's all God's fault. And then so like that was a cool kind of concept that like he's tempting him with something that's benefiting him in a way. So that was a cool concept, and I think that's more interesting than anything in 4.
I think that's the best part of some of these movies is the interaction between the demon, or the devil in this case, between the person that's trying to exorcise them, is the temptation and the battle between them two. That's what the one thing I'll say.
Yeah, that's the part that everyone wants to see, right? They want to see like, I don't want to see like the your mother sucks cocks in hell. It's hilarious and it's like iconic, but I want to see like I want to see like that back and forth of the good
conflict
and evil of
and
the conflict.
Yeah. That's the best parts of it, and then which I don't think the fourth one kind of did at some points, and that's what Marin told Reggie. Like, no matter what they say, it's not her. No matter what, that's what they keep telling her. Like, whatever she says, it's not her. Just don't believe her. And in this one, she didn't. It was just them two, right?
Yeah, it's just them in the end because he finds the woman in there, and the woman was able to go back in time, and somehow like she was tempted to go back in time for some reason. It just drops it because like it drops everything. Like, this movie is 1% better than the fourth one in my opinion, which is saying nothing at all. Just this one moment here, it's better than anything in the fourth one. But everything is dropped. It's awful. I'm not going to rewatch either of these, but that concept, the idea is interesting to me. And that's 1% better than 4. But that's 1%, boys. Don't act like I think this movie has any redeeming qualities. I don't even recommend watching that one scene. I'm just saying, if we had to watch a sea of exorcism movies, there's one unique idea in this that was never fully even fleshed out. So that's all I got for this fucking terrible movie.
It's like two shitty students getting, I got 10% on the final exam. I got 11% on the final exam. I'm better than you.
You're bragging about being less of
failed.
You're bragging about being less of a moron. F versus F plus.
Yeah, exactly.
I am thinking here, and these I want to see. We're going to operate under the assumption that we've already spit on the memory of Exorcist
Oh, yeah.
making these
Spit
sequels.
with green, split pieces.
So I pitch that instead of just rehashing the same old shit, just do a new demon every sequel, and the demon does something different. Like the Pazuzu is very different than Legion.
Hey, save this for a second,
and
Shane.
they have different.
Save it because that's my
Thank
question
you.
at the very, very end.
Thank you, yeah. I have another thing
Or-
off that.
Get Keanu Reeves in number 4.
Oh, make
And John Wick
Constantine?
this
And
bitch,
just
right?
John Wick it, where he's like, consequences, yeah.
It's called
And
Constantine.
he just starts
Shane.
nunchucking demons.
It's called Constantine, Shane.
No, but I want the makers of John
But
Wick
they're
to do
they're
Constantine.
remaking, but they're doing a sequel to Constantine. But Keanu Reeves is coming back.
Yeah!
I've never seen that movie, actually.
Oh, that
Best day of my life.
that's a commentary. It's a commentary track for sure.
All right, that's fine.
I'm so excited because Constantine was dog shit.
Oh, I love that movie.
But I fucking love it.
I love Constantine. But save that idea
just
for.
shooting bullets with crosses on them at demons.
But save that idea because we'll get to that, Shane. I want to ask that question though. Anything else
Okay.
on 5 before we get to the last and final thing here, movie here?
I'd rather suck cocks in hell than watch 5 again.
It was a quality text you sent us today. Dan, how about you?
No, I got nothing. Yeah, 4 and 5 don't watch them. There's no point to. I think you said it perfectly. 1% better 4 is than 5 at least.
Hey, I get that you guys like 4 better than 5. I can see that's a fully
that-
completed
I think-
movie. I could see that. I think 5 gets that 1% bump for me.
But that's like, I like eating nails more than staples.
Yeah, don't want to get nailed in my.
Both are
shoulder
really bad
staples.
for me. I didn't like either.
Depends on the whatever.
No, like I put 5 like a fucking cunt's hair above 4, but I say because 4 is so bland to me, and 5 has 5 minutes of an interesting idea. That's the only reason why it's like a tiny bit above.
And I'm the opposite because I didn't realize going in that 5 was the same movie, so I think my mindset was fuck this, I don't want to see this.
I
For
get
5.
it. It's my fault. I
Yeah,
know these
so-
things in advance, and I don't tell you guys.
Yeah.
I want to take number 5 and either destroy it or give it to Tommy Wiseau and be like, give us your version, Tommy.
Okay, really
And I
quick.
want him to play Skarsgård.
Really quick question before we get to the last Exorcist film, hopefully ever made. Are there any other exorcism movies that you enjoy outside of this franchise, but anything involving like demons and other bullshit? I'll go with you,
I
Dan.
fucking loved The Pope's Exorcist.
Pope's Exorcist.
I really haven't watched too much stuff about it. There's one on Netflix. There's a documentary that I'm trying to watch at some point.
Oh, about the trial one?
Yeah, the Devil on Trial. That one I've been waiting to watch for so long because it's been advertised.
You're not a fan of like demon shit though. It's kind of like not your jam.
I'm more into it now, I guess, which is now creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife.
Have you seen the movie Hell Baby?
The movie sucks. It's not even funny. You fucking moron.
I drive a Hellcat now, Shane. How about that?
Oh, you should drive a demon.
There's
Hell Demon.
Hell demon.
I had it. I was looking on like Amazon. You know, I always love my Amazon Prime because it recommends movies for me. They're all fucked up shit. And one of them was something involving like a nun. Came out this year. My wife goes, "I'm not watching anything else with the priest ever again." She's like she didn't even,
Done with the priest.
she didn't even watch like these movies in their entirety. She would like come in or like fall asleep, and I could finish watching them by myself. But she's like, "I don't want to see another fucking nun or priest in my entire life." I said, "Okay, fine, we'll save it for a different time."
Yeah, same on this end. Yeah.
I love the Exorcism of Emily Rose. That might be a Ron talks about it by himself one day. I love that movie. It's a cool balance of like courtroom drama, which I love me a trashy courtroom drama.
That
And
one
a
I'll watch
movie.
with you, but that
I like that
I
movie.
wouldn't mind
a lot.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane.
I
Besides Pope
know
Francis,
I saw one
what's his name? Australia man.
with
Russell
the
Crowe.
Pope's Exorcist, the best Russell Crowe.
Father Amorth.
Cuckoo.
By the way, none of you mentioned the South Park far and around the world in the entire review, and I'm so pissed off at you.
Chaka.
Okay, I literally my entire like when we podcast, I try to not mention South Park, and that's all Shane wants to do is mention South Park the entire time.
You had to mention Russell Crowe South Park on that one. Why didn't you? It made me so angry. But sorry, go ahead.
Born in New Zealand in 64, a hot-headed actor named Russell Crowe. He loves to act, but he loves one thing more: fighting round the world. He fights his directors and he fights his fans. It's a problem no one understands. If there's two things he loves, it's fighting and fighting round the world. Making movies, making music, and fighting round the world. Russell Crowe.
I'm trying to think of a good Exorcist film I've seen, because I've seen the one with Anthony Hopkins.
The Right.
Where yeah, but I don't remember that being very good. I remember it being just.
That's actually Father Amorth. That's his last exorcism.
Jesus fucking Christ. And then I did see The Haunting on Hill House, but that's not really it's a possession movie, kind of.
Yeah, those are ghost stories. That's metaphorical and shit. I love those.
That I
movies.
like. That's more tone. That's more.
That was really good.
Yeah. No,
I liked it, but I'm trying to think
Flanagan
of like a
does
legit.
a phenomenal Netflix series. So all those are good. Watch those. The Follow the House is finished. That one's good.
Midnight Mass.
That's
one of the best shows of all time.
Midnight Mass is one of my favorite fucking TV shows of all time.
Yes, that one's good.
It's people talking for fucking 10 hours.
Yes.
Just talking.
Like Exorcist 3, but no George C. Scott, but longer.
That would be that movie 100% better. More George C. Scott in all movies.
Ooh, more George C. Scott in Midnight Mass. I am sold.
Okay, and I'm gonna edit it in there. Oh my god. Okay, I like the Conjuring movies are like kind of more popcorny thing, but I enjoy those for the most part.
Yeah.
They get shittier. Like they get like that universe, and I put that in quotes, gets so fucking bad. Like I watched The Nun, and I had to turn that shit off. I was like, this is the worst fucking thing I've seen.
I liked Supernatural, like seasons like 1 to 3, maybe.
That
has possession.
We're on the record that we enjoy that TV show as a guilty pleasure. It's pretty delightful.
Yeah, it's definitely a lovely.
I keep debating.
Pleasure.
I need to watch the entire series one day.
Or
just for a month or two. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
There's like 20-something seasons now. I think.
Every time I see it on TV, it's wonderful.
After the end of the world, the apocalypse, stop. It's not worth your time.
For the 8th time?
Yeah, but after they had like the 4 horsemen and like the literal Lucifer walks on the earth, just stop after that. There's no purpose.
Yeah.
Like we joked about it here. How can you make it actually the devil and like take it somewhat seriously and not be like, no.
Isn't the devil the Linda's boyfriend or husband, ex-husband from Dexter?
Yes, you're right. That's funny that you remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I've seen episodes randomly, so I know of it. I haven't watched it from beginning. That's fine.
It's trash. It's great. Okay.
It is good trash.
Okay.
All right, let's finish this.
Do you want to do a demon or dumbass or no?
Let's do a demon dumbass.
Demon dumbass, and then Fast Furious against a tree and die.
I am out of cars.
Okay, perfect.
Just like Paul Walker.
I'll give you 2 then, because I got a couple more. The Jersey Devil is a flying bipedal creature described as being kangaroo-like creature, but with the head of a horse, bat-like wings, bird-like legs, claws, hooves, a hideous face, and a forked tail. And in 1909, the state of New Jersey closed schools, factories, and there are thousands of reports because of this creature.
False.
And now it goes by the name of Chris Christie.
Chris Christie can't fly, you dumbass.
False, it's not him.
He has to pay for 2 tickets.
or maybe he can't because his flat fats. Never mind.
What a fat bitch.
Christie 2024.
True.
It is true, according to the dumb website I found. They in 1909.
Oh no. Okay.
Thousands of people reported seeing a mysterious creature, and they closed schools and factories for a few days because they thought there was some kind of paranormal activity going on.
Ron, we've seen too many Monster Quests. Whatever you pulled that site from is inaccurate. There's no.
Hey, Wikipedia is credible. It's got sources.
Don't give me that. It doesn't look like... Okay, that's fine.
Speaking of the Monster Quest, I tried watching River Monsters again. He's run out of fish. I watched a whole episode where he was looking for an obvious fish that doesn't exist. He's looking for like a sea monster.
Do you know why?
In Canada.
Do you know why he had to cancel the show?
Why?
He caught every fish that he wanted to catch. So he's like, yeah, I have nothing else I want to catch in the world.
Yeah, but he has other shows though.
It was so stupid.
Yeah, but then he does it like in repeat or he hosts those shows.
Yeah, now he's like kind of like Jeff Corwin went, like just plug and play.
We can talk shit about the Catholic Church, Jesus, whatever you want to, but we
don't
besmirch the good name. You don't fucking use the Jeremy Wade's name in vain in this fucking podcast, boys.
Well, he's like looking for a fucking sea monster in Canada, and I was like, what the fuck fish is he gonna catch? And he just goes catch pike.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, he's not even trying anymore.
Demon or dumbass?
This podcast.
Demon or dumbass? The Rock.
Dungass.
I'm drunk. Demon or dumbass? The Rakshasas. In Buddhism, they are shape-shifting demons who lurk in cemeteries, encourage people to attack saints or holy men, and are born in places where violent deaths occur. True or false?
What is Hillary Clinton? I hit the right. I gotta hit the left.
What is Bill Clinton?
What is my wife?
Help me.
Help.
Do my saxophone real quick.
True.
I'll go opposite. False.
It's false. It's not Buddhism. It's Hinduism.
See. Okay.
Oh.
Great.
That makes sense.
Okay, Dan.
Does Buddhism have demons?
Buddhism
I don't
has,
think they're really about
dark spirits, kind of like negative energy, but not actually. When I was looking up, I didn't see anything that was about Buddhism.
Not as intense as the Hindu.
No, well, Buddhism's more loosey-goosey and kind of shit.
Like all.
Okay, Dan. 2023, you get to bring us home.
All right. So, 2023, the number 6 in the franchise is The Exorcist, starring Doug Baldwin. So.
They got a Baldwin.
No, I'm sorry, Doug Bradley. Sorry, right there.
He's playing too much fantasy football.
Oh yeah, sorry. Doug Bradley. Sorry. Okay. Doug Bradley. No, I had that one set up for it. So Shane, you haven't seen the last one, haven't? This one I'm talking about.
No, I tried to give it my money, but they're purists where they're like, no, you're going to go see it in the theaters because this movie's meant to be seen in theaters, not purchased at home.
Stop.
Fuck you.
Shane, tell us how Danny ended up being the person doing this movie, and then we'll get to the actual synopsis.
I was assigned Exorcist 6 Believer, and I was like, okay.
Hold on. Ronnie did this months ago.
Yes,
I knew it was going to be in theaters, but I refused to go to movie theaters because it's full of people that go to movie theaters.
So do I.
And I don't like those people. It's a dead art. So then I was going to pay $30 to watch it at home, and they won't let it right now because it's in theaters. And I was like, oh my God. We are really being that sanctimonious about movie theaters that you won't let me pay double what I would at a movie theater to watch it? I was going to buy it. I was going to purchase this stupid fucking film instead of go to a movie theater. And then Danny watched some Russian jerk off and film it while he was
Don't you put that on me. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
So I didn't see this movie out of spite for movie theaters.
But
I can already tell you what it's about.
Thank you.
So then Danny texted in our group chat, late last night?
Yeah.
Yesterday afternoon, I said, Shane, do you want to switch? Because I was supposed to do number 5, and I didn't want to rewatch number 5. I said, I'll watch 6 because I'm a good guest podcast host, and I watch everything you tell me to. So I already watched it.
I'm not gonna fucking give this thing the pleasure of taking my money at a movie theater. I'll pay double to watch it at home just to flip the bird to fucking Regal theaters.
I'm the same way, Shane, but I watched it in a totally legal third-party theater source that may or may not have been a horrible, horrible quality source.
I saw this movie in theaters because I go to the movie theaters. So.
Remember, I'm sure they still do it, but when you'd put in your movie and it'd have the FBI warning on front.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I literally thought the FBI was hunting people who were taking camcorders into movie theaters. Where are you going to the theater? Someone's just like, freeze, you son of a bitch.
I'm not jerking off. We don't care. You had a camera.
It was worse, Shane. That's all I'm going to say.
I bet you wish you were, but that camera's for filming. You could jerk off anywhere you want.
Shane did a subtitles option, and I clicked it and then turned it off real quick because it got sketchy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Oh man,
Daniel, give us your synopsis of Exorcist Believer.
So I'll do two, obviously. One because Shane didn't watch it, so it's funny to hear him his reaction kind of to it.
You shouldn't have said that. You should have just done it and just done it naturally.
I thought Doug Baldwin was in this.
Sorry,
film.
yeah. Sorry,
Is there even a Doug Baldwin?
No, Doug
yeah,
Bradley.
he's a
No,
wide receiver.
it's
He's a black
Doug Bradley's in funny thing about that, I looked it up. It's The Exorcists. It came out this year with Doug Bradley as the head honcho. So
What the fuck are you talking about?
look it up on Amazon Prime. It's a movie this year. It came out.
Okay.
Okay, so The Exorcist, The Believer, or my personal favorite titles that I came up with: Exorcist, Red Flows, or Exorcist, The Yin and Yang Flows Red.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
I got it.
Yeah, you got that one. Okay. Somewhere between science and superstition, there's another world. The world of darkness. And this is not that movie. What's better than one white girl being possessed by a demon or demons? Making it more diverse and having it an African American girl. But wait, what's better than having one African American girl being possessed by a demon? Let's make it two girls, and the other one is white, like the first one. But wait, what's better than having one Catholic church help out with The Exorcist? Let's get help from other religions and make it the Justice League of Religion. But wait.
The Justice League of Religion?
But wait, Shane. What's better than having a white priest? A darker skinned priest that wants to help. It's The Exorcist Double Trouble. But not double the quality and enjoyment as the original one. There's an exorcist at the end of the film. A failed neighbor nun tries and helps and fails again. Priest dies in 2 minutes of The Exorcist. White girl, black girl, the end.
Riveting.
I should.
That's my fun. That one you might have to.
I'm gonna spoil that and then bleep out the ending there.
That one you might have to cut overall, though.
Dude, I could have guessed.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly what they would have done for Believer.
Okay, what do you got?
Like, why not? That's what we do with
right.
all movies now.
Let me do the actual,
go for it.
legitimate one. We open to the greatest country in the world, Haiti, where we meet not Kid Cudi and his pregnant wife on vacation or something, taking photos or I don't know. So, typical Haiti, there's an earthquake where the wife gets stuck and hurt somewhere, and Kid Cudi must have the choice to either save the wife or the pregnant baby. He chose wrong and chose the premature baby in the wife's belly. Now, cut to 13 years later in the good old middle of the Bible Belt, Percy, Georgia. Angela, who is now 13 years old, and her dad, who is still a shitty photographer. Angela and her white religious friend Catherine go into the woods to try to contact Angela's dead mom with a candle and some dumb shit necklace. They disappear for 3 days, unfortunately, and crazy shit happens to the both of them while in there, but not really. Who knows? We don't really see it. They finally reappear And from there, chaos ensues. Unlike the original movie, the White family says Catherine, the white girl, is possessed the first or second day they finally found her after chaos ensues. Ellen Burstyn, they pulled her out of the grave, is now an exorcism consultant, I guess, but also not affiliated with the... What's up?
She's an expert.
Consultant.
No.
But she's also
God.
She's also not affiliated with the patriarchy. Sorry, they made that very clear. But ends up getting her fucking the white girl. Luckily for her, she doesn't have to watch the rest of this film anymore. There's an exorcism at the end. The neighbor nurse that was a failed nun who got an abortion at some point tries and helps and fails again. The end. Oh, and
wait, what?
I'm gonna bleep out all the spoilers, and then we'll get into the spoilers at the end here. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I should have said that for the. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just because it's a newer movie. No one fucking cares.
No one's gonna see this. No one's gonna see this film again.
See this film.
Okay,
I'm
so lucky
angry.
for us.
So a lot to talk about.
So Shane didn't see this, so we did not hear Shane for 30 minutes. This is pretty nice. What's your initial reaction to?
That's a lie.
What's your initial reaction to The Exorcist Believer, Dan?
I didn't hate it, but I will never watch it again. I've seen it 1.5 times. The quality from seeing it didn't help from my third-party theater source. But there's little bits and pieces I did enjoy, but I just felt like, again, I guess I didn't mention it. It's directed by David Gordon Green. Always forget his actual name. And then him and his friends, who did Halloween, the last 2 latest ones.
Danny McFucking-Bride.
Yes, and his friends. That's obviously. So I knew going in I expected more comedy and some random stupid shit, but it wasn't that. But this movie, and I said that in my synopsis, is kind of batshit crazy in the sense that, like, I really want to know how much influence Hollywood had on the notes and review comments for the script. Because was it written by David Gordon and his friends, or no, Ron, do you remember?
Yeah, it's Gordon Green, someone else wrote the story, and then Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and someone else wrote the screenplay. So there's like 5 different names attached to it. That's my biggest gripe with this, because I feel like if it was just them, it would be maybe more like stupid, maybe more like random, like failed comedy, like kind of like the Halloween movies were, the last 2 ones. But they added the random, like, woke, and we talked about this kind of in our group chat, like the one monologue at the end where they talk about, like, for all religions are great, but what's the best about everything is the people in the religions. We all have a commonality, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Yeah, like, obviously we don't listen to heathens. We're God-fearing Christian men.
Yeah, and they kept saying, like, we need to accept all religions, and then they brought in, like, the abortion thing. Like, it wasn't, like, I had to do it. Like, I just chose this, and I'm like, I just feel like Hollywood added in certain review comments, like, you should add this, or you need to add this, and all that. And I have a lot of little things. I didn't mind the story of the neighbor. I think it's Ann Dowd or Ann Doe. The nurse lady from next door. I thought her acting sucked, but I like her as an actress. She's in The Leftovers.
She's so bad in this movie.
She's really bad in it. She's better in The Leftovers, but that show I cannot recommend, even though I like the concept of it. But anyways,
okay, so let's get this out of the way really fast. So let's get the woke thing out of the way. That stuff doesn't bother me. I don't really care because it's pandering, but if a movie's good, it elevates above that kind of shit to me. Like Like people
Right.
people will cast diverse things and they want to be inclusive, but if the movie's good, then you won't notice or care about it, or unless you're a person who looks for those things and really just wants to be mad about it. This movie, like, I don't think casting the black and white girl, like, I don't really care about that. That doesn't bug me. What bugs me is that bullshit, pussy ass, like, riskless ending of saying, like, all of us have to come together to unite. It's so, like, has no teeth. There's no grit to it, especially how it ends. The ending is really fucking dark. And then they go, but with help of community, we can do this. And I'm like, that's such a fucking pussy
monologue.
bitch ass
Jesus
thing.
Christ.
It's so awful. It's like
the stupidest fucking ending.
It's so fucking, like, just like a big fucking wet fart. Like, it's so fucking lame, and just like, this is not what people go to Exorcist movies for. It's these happy, jolly, we all have to unite and put aside our religious differences and believe what you want to believe, and if we hold hands, we can do anything. It's so fucking infuriating to the original Exorcist movie.
Yeah, and it's like they put up the People of the World shirt right there at the end, which I'm like, seriously? And I'm like, and then Shane, to give you, or maybe we should, full spoiler, at the end for the exorcism, they tie down to, again, both Angela and Catherine are both possessed, obviously, and they're tied down to the floor and back to back, and they do exorcism on them. And I think one part I did enjoy, I didn't mention, is that I guess the demon or demons, again, we can talk about this later on, as you mentioned. They give the parents the choice of, like, one of us must live and one of us must die. They make the parents choose who's going to live and die. And I love that. But then you go from that, and then Catherine ends up dying, even though her father is so defeated and just says, I choose you. But then she still ends up dying. And then, like, you go from that. I didn't expect that, especially for a movie this time, because I thought it'd be too dark. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then that fucking monologue and the soft, happy music comes in. And with that monologue, I'm like, God damn it. And then Regan comes in to sees her mom with her fucking eyes gouged. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It just ruined it for me at the end.
I don't understand movies now, how they can't... think of the worst, like, Daily Wire movie. You know, like, I'm just thinking, like, from the right side. Mm-hmm. When you watch a movie that's made by, like, Kirk Cameron or, like, the Daily Wire.
Any kind of pandering Jesus thing,
yeah, and you can just see it. Where it's like they think they're being clever, they think they're keeping it low-key, but it's just blatant as day, and it takes away... I'm not saying that they've even made a good movie, but now they have no chance of even, like, getting you... They can't even trick you into the message, right?
It's so
they can't
obvious and
like you said, you shouldn't notice. You should watch the movie and then think about it and be like, you know what? Like, maybe I do think about... That's an interesting thing. You know, like, you don't notice because it's about a character, not the message of the character. When they do it from the left side, which is, I hate even doing it in that terms, but, like, it's the same fucking thing, and they don't seem to think they're making another Daily Wire. They're just making the Daily Wire movie on the other side, and neither of us get a good movie.
So, the irony of all this, what you're kind of talking about, Shane, is I'm not religious at all, and I don't buy into any of that shit anymore, but you know what the message of The Exorcist is? Is to have faith in people. You know, but that's done not in a pandering, bullshitty kind of way that's condescending. The Believer is the exact same message as the original one, but it's done in a way that's so... It feels so phony. It's like watching... It's like walking into, like, a wax museum or, like, a museum in general and seeing, like that looks fake to me. Like, that's obviously not real. It looks so it's so artificially flavored to feel like it's false sentimentality. when the
False.
original Exorcist movie, when Reagan like hugs Father Dyer, even though he doesn't know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
And basically says, "Thank you for saving me." And Chris McNeil says, "Thank you for Karis' sacrifice." That's all about faith in people and humanity. Exact same fucking message, but not done in a fucking...
Karis literally threw himself out of a window.
Yeah, and it's not some fucking bullshit messaging to appeal to all people and all religions and all races and all things. Like, but this one feels so obvious and in your face, but it's the exact same message. Split 50 years apart, done by people who lack the absolute subtlety of understanding how to make a fucking good movie.
And why do people think it's offensive to, like, no one's offended by The Exorcist. You know what I mean? No one gets to the end and goes, well, he didn't thank every religion for this. Like, why do you have to add it if it takes away from the movie? Like, it wasn't offensive to begin with. The Exorcist was never offensive.
It was if you were religious, but that's the irony of all of it.
Oh,
the
yeah,
message of The Exorcist, the irony of The Exorcist, it's about saving your faith, and the movie is like seen as the most terrifying, most anti-church thing ever, which is the biggest fucking irony of it all. Because it's written by like a person who is a Catholic and believes in all the things he's writing about as true, but the movie, like the connotation of like, oh no, it's terrifying, it's going to be sinful by showing these terrible things, and this new movie is trying to be appealing to all people, and it's so fucking just phony. I want to get past this, but go ahead, Dan, finish your thing, and then let's get to the actual plot of it, and then talk about why it sucks.
Oh no, I was going back to the plot. That's why it's fine.
Yeah, same idea. Because like, the woke shit doesn't bug me if it's a good movie. This movie's just fucking shit. So
again, it's not genuine, and it's again like it's you putting the elephant. You took the elephant out of the captive, or you took an elephant out of Africa and painted him white and put him in captivity. Now I notice it.
You and Shane had like the best like similes.
Yes.
Shane's about his parents fucking, and yours about animals being lost.
I think mine's more
this is
woke
like your
though,
parents
Shane.
Fucking in front of you and lecturing you on why you shouldn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar.
Okay.
Cookies.
Moving past the different political differences, I enjoyed the first 30 minutes of this movie. I like the character of, I don't even remember his name. It's how forgettable this movie is. I like the dad and daughter, Angela's dad, the black guy from Hamilton. Shane, he's
not Kid Cudi.
Leslie Odom Jr.
What was that?
Not Kid Cudi.
Yeah, Leslie Odom Jr. He's Aaron Burr. He's great. He and Angela are fantastic. I like their characterization. His wife dies, so then he like overprotects her and cares about her. He's trying to protect her from talking about the mom because he's not emotionally prepared for that. I like the idea. They go out to the woods, they do their thing, they come back, they miss 3 days, and then the moment when like I was like, it fucking sucks, is right after the church scene when the little white girl is like, power of the blood, power in the blood, power in the blood. And when all the Exorcist shit starts, then I'm like, and now I'm really tired of this movie. But when it's no longer, it's like, this is rehashing the exact same beat for beat movie, but just stupider. And then when Ellen Burstyn comes in and wastes,
oh god,
like the whole middle part of this movie is wasting time.
Act 2,
talking.
you could say? Yeah.
All of Act 2 is wasting. You should read this book by this mother who's experiencing what you're doing, and then Ellen Bernstein's like, they kidnap her out of the old folks' home and make her act like terribly, and then they decide after doing that to just basically fucking like write her off and mutilate her and waste her, and then the last act is the fucking bullshit exorcism. Like the first act is pretty good. I stand by it's pretty good.
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
Once the demons actually come in, I'm like, and I don't give a shit anymore, and it's like, I can't think of a better analogy. It's paint by the numbers again. It's just like, oh, they have this, they say naughty words, oh, try this thing, try this thing, try this thing. It can't be that. But like you were saying, Dan, they when we were texting, the white people immediately think it's a demon. Like within seconds, day 2, they're like, my daughter is possessed by a demon, and we're like, What year is it that you think that this is a viable option?
No, the father's like, oh, or the mother's like, or well, one of them was like, oh, we don't baptize, or the father's like, we don't baptize them, and when they're little, we baptize them as when they actually know the Christ. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why do you assume like that's the reason why they got possessed, because you didn't baptize them when they're little? Like, this is
No,
that's why I made the joke for the Bible Belt.
No, it's just fucking like, oh, it's so fucking bland.
That's why the first one was so good. It's the gradual progression of like step by step of like this isn't working, and then you kind of go with them like, what the fuck's happening? But you kind of know, but then you're like, you go with the mother of like what you follow the journey with the mom, or in this case the dad, as it should be, of like, what the fuck's going on? Give me some fucking answers instead of like possession right away. And that's what I wanted.
Like, yeah, I think what's infuriating, this is like a Shane argument, which is like, it's so dumbed down because it's the exact same Exorcist movie but with two girls, and it's all the same scenes but like made for fucking Rudies. Like, it's so fucking like, it's so middle of the road bullshit and boring.
And that's why I would like to know if there's actually what the review comments were for like the script when they actually wrote it. It might have been worse, or it might have been the same fucking thing. Who knows? But I'm like, who knows?
If I had to guess, this is what had to happen, and we can compare this to Halloween 2018 if you want to. Like, this is what had to have happened. Hey.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You took a Halloween franchise that's been dead as a fucking doornail for 20 years. You took that franchise, made a low-budget movie, and made a bunch of millions of dollars back for us. Not everyone liked all of them, but you made us money. Do you want to take one of the best movies ever made and make us more money off of it? And he's like, okay, sure, but what do I write it about? We're like, we don't care. Just make it so that it will make us more money. So put more girls in there. Don't stray too far from the source material like you did with Halloween. So they just did it's like a parallel plot line, but it dips into shit much, much faster than all the other sequels do. And it's just bland nonsense. And I think the biggest my biggest frustration, because my wife and I saw this in theaters, we walked out and I was like, so what's the fucking point of this movie? If you're going to go dark and kill off, like, what's the fucking messaging here? Is it like evil sometimes wins? Is sometimes terrible things happen to good people? Is it sins of the father that if what your parents believe will come back to catch you? No. The messaging is, if we all hold hands together and believe in each other, no matter our differences, we can change the world.
What happened?
This is fucking exactly the point.
It's the stupidest thing. I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, come on.
They wrote it, and they wrote they had all these things they wanted to have in the movie. They wrote it in one fucking draft. Said, we'll give you $25 million. Can you make it in this? Oh yeah, we can do that. No fucking problem. Cool. We'll make the money back gangbusters, and then we'll do more of them because people are fucking stupid.
I bet they did reshoots of that last monologue, or they did something, and then they also did random reshoots of the cop looking down at the very end for The Exorcist and going, "What happened here?" kind of thing. I'm like,
I don't know.
I think after the fact, I think so. It just baffles. It's so dumb. Like, again, it's sad for me saying I was excited how dark it was at the end, because one of the two girls actually died in that scene where she gets pulled under and the demon says, "Oh, she's gonna die." I'm like, holy shit, which I was surprised about. But then they just fucking try to put a little bow on it, but the bow sank the fucking demon with that monologue.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like Seth Gordon Green here, like they made Superbad. So like they literally made it an offensive movie that has a message, but they made a movie that was offensive and like awful and silly, but it's likable characters and situations that are ridiculous, and then they go from that, and you make some other shitty movies. And Halloween 2018, I think you and I, Dan, like that movie pretty well. Like,
and also they also made Eastbound and Down.
There you go. But like Halloween 2018 is like fucking gruesome and dark and gory, and in this movie, it's like literally just run of the mill, bland everything. Like they just did everything so fucking boring, no chances. Don't want to offend anyone in this movie where this girl says "fuck you, bitch," and like says you can like it's just everything is so watered down. It's just everything is just miserable, and
I would say everything's miserable, watered down. I would say, but it just extremely disappointing. What it could have been.
Miserable in the way like it made me just fucking hopeless for any movie that's made that has a recognizable name. It's just all gonna be fucking bland shit. So I don't know. Like I don't think this is like. I think this movie is better than Dominion and The Beginner in like a filmmaking perspective, but what really angered me and why it's like in the exact same range for all these shitty Exorcist movies, it's like there's nothing of interest, there's nothing to push or challenge me or think, and it's just all a nonsense of shit. And then you gotta bring back because fuck you.
Jesus fucking. I think I screamed "fuck you" at like 1 a.m. when I watched it. At the end, it's a couple shout outs. I guess I would say the makeup I think looked pretty good at times, but not as good as the first one. I wish that looked good. Yeah, I wish they. One gripe I would say I wish they kind of did. When the little girls were going back to their actual selves. Talking during the exorcism. I wish they just CGI. You have the power to do this. Just do the CGI of their actual face pre-possession. Maybe do that. Instead with their face, but maybe that'd be too dumbed down.
It's all dumb.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. But I also thought the little girls acting were really freaking good. Like them during the possessions after they got possessed was shockingly better than I would expect it because I hate children actors.
No, these girls are great. Leslie Odom Jr. is great. The side characters are fucking awful. Like the dialogue's terrible, and they're all fucking awful.
It's David Gordon Beckham, whatever his fucking name is, in Friends dialogue, which same thing as Halloween movies.
Yeah, it's just, but like they're not funny. They're just not good. Like I don't think this movie's trying to be funny. The only, like some people were getting upset about the patriarchy line, but it's annoying and stupid and it's pandering. But she says it as a joke though. Like she says it to Leslie Odom Jr. and he laughs and she laughs. So like she's not being serious.
Yeah.
And blaming it. So like. Everyone was in uproar about that line, so I was like, well, like it's stupid. Like
really?
I'm not defending. Yeah, people on Twitter were upset about that line about saying, "Oh, this is so fucking stupid and woke." I'm like,
they're gonna be done soon.
But like literally, she says it as a joke to him, and it is dumb because of course the Catholic Church is a patriarchy.
I know why. All they watched was a trailer, and I think the trailer says that, but they cut it quick.
But people were putting it in there. But like
one of them does. Yeah.
Well, then maybe, so. but like regardless of like the Catholic Church is a literal patriarchy. First of all, there are no such thing as like female priests. So like, of course it is, but like you're right, but you're not getting one up on the fucking patriarchy by saying that because the Catholic Church is a literal fucking patriarchy, and it's not even it's as a joke. It's said humorously, and it didn't make me laugh. It just was like, oh, ew, that's a stupid joke.
Yeah, and I think going off that, I think my biggest gripe though of all time of this film is like, why the fuck is she there? Like what is she gonna do?
Money.
Like,
and I hate how
no. I meant like her going into the exorcism, like going into Catherine's room. Like, what is she doing there? Like,
no, and
why would you do this?
That's the whole entire bullshit of like, it undermines the exorcism of like how hard they had to work to try to save Reagan, and it literally killed 2 of them. And these people are just standing around going, I don't know what to do. Say Jesus loves you and sing Kumbaya. Get out your acoustic guitar and light some incense. I'm like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah. Like, That's why I'm like, and I'm like, when she got crucifix, I'm like, thank you. I'm like, get her out, do it.
Well, she's probably
I
happy
didn't
she doesn't
care,
have to
but-
fucking try to act anymore.
Oh, I thought Reagan was gonna come in and right in the middle of that first interaction. I'm like, don't do this, please, don't do this, because I was kind of like, I'm getting over this.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I wouldn't recommend it. Anything else to add? I have one more final surprise because we're on the 3.5 hour mark here, so we got to get wrapping this up.
Sorry, I got
Down with the patriarchy.
yeah. I have two comments.
Yeah.
About that, and I have more, but it's fine. We'll move on from it. I think I texted you guys this, or I texted you, Ron. Wouldn't this movie be so much better if at the end it was just both of them were just on their first periods, and that was it? There was no demon possession. and that's why my first titles, Exorcist Red Flows, and Exorcist The Yin and Yang Flows Red.
The power in the blood? Powers in the blood?
Power in the blood?
Movie.
Power in the blood? Power in the blood?
And my last one, or no, sorry, two more. How many times do you guys think Angela's, or I guess Tehran, how many times do you think Angela's dad said to himself, "Fuck these white people, like you're crazy"? His
all in his eyes.
expressions,
It's all in
yes,
his eyes.
the entire time was awesome. And then Ron, you know the scene where right before they go into the exorcism, as they're about to go into it, and they set it up. And they all agree, like, let's get all the religions together. We got this. Like, we can do this together.
Grow up.
Everyone needs to be in. Now, then the neighbors are in it too. What if, like, a neighbor named, like, say, Greg is, like, down the street, and he just sees what's going on. He's like, he's a Scientologist. He's like, I'm here to help too. By the power of Xenu, and all of them just go, no, fuck you, Greg, and fuck you, Xenu, and just get out of here. It'd be so awesome. But, yes. But other than that, don't watch it. Fine. There's some shout outs to the OG that are kind of obvious and stupid. So
There's a bunch there. Shane, since you've been quiet and so patient, probably you've been jerking off and eating hot dogs.
yeah, good for you, Shane.
I'm just thinking what an embarrassment Hollywood is.
It is. Shane, you're tasked with making the next Exorcist film. What are you going to do with it?
Is he supposed to do it after
Can
this
I
film
send it
or
to
what?
Ukraine?
Oh, I don't care. It could be a sequel or it could be whatever you want.
Okay, I gotta make another one. Alright. What I think... Alright, there's two. One's gonna actually get made by Hollywood, and the other is a pipe dream. But I think there should only be two Exorcists, and that's Exorcist the movie, and then Exorcist 3. I think Exorcist 3 would have been a perfect sequel. Because I think if you're gonna make sequels to Exorcist, which is an intelligent, like, confrontation with a demon, which is what 3 is, you continue that. Because there's thousands of demons. And you could do a new priest. I'd say you make a movie within the world of The Exorcist. Doesn't have to be directly tied. Doesn't have to be the same characters. But it is a Catholic priest who is performing an exorcism on a different demon who specializes in different things, right? Because, like, Pazuzu's, like, plague or something like that. And Legion is murder or whatever the fuck he is. So maybe you do one demon that's seduction or, you know...
Lust, kind of 7 Deadly Sins.
Vice, or, yeah, lust, or, like... And it has some dark sexual themes to it, you know? Like, you can do things like that, and they're all intelligent, and they deal with different sins and how humans deal with that sin. I think that's an intelligent way to do it, and you do kind of in the 3, where the priest has some tie to the sin that is being exorcised. That's my pipe dream. What's really going to fucking happen is Vin Diesel and Keanu Reeves are going to take it to Satan.
Wait for it.
Vin Diesel's gonna get possessed by Pazuzu just so Keanu Reeves can do the hypnosis machine, so he can get to hell to stab Satan with the sacred spear, and that's gonna be Exorcist 7. But that's 2 white guys, so it's gonna be The Rock instead of Keanu Reeves. He's gonna be the one that's gonna kill Satan, and Satan is Who would be
Matt Damon?
James Woods.
Oh.
Yeah, Matt Damon will be Satan, or Ben Affleck.
Oh, Ben Affleck.
There you
Okay, so
And then,
No, Jeremy Renner. There you go.
oh,
Yeah, my pipe dream one that I'd love to do, and that's what I'm gonna go with, is a demon. It might be too on the nose, and the Catholic Church might go up in arms about it, but yeah, it's a demon of lust that has taken hold of a. You could even do like, she might be like 18 or 17, so it's like, you should feel fucking uncomfortable. It's an exorcism.
No, I get where you're going. If you really want to go dark
Yeah,
and like
the
and,
priest
and bring up the whole like church
has to,
into the
like,
past and all those kind of fucking allegations, man.
Right, you could do some dark shit, and like the priest is a good guy, so like the temptations could be like she's trying to get him, and maybe he slips a little, and now he feels really bad. Like there's so many little like dark themes that you could do tastefully, like, and still do it, because like the Exorcism dealt with dark shit, and Exorcist 3 dealt with dark shit. Like you can do it intelligently, and I think it's that. Will that appeal to a mass audience? No. So, Exorcist 7's gonna just be Exorcist 6.
They call it Exorcist 6, the Exorsplosion.
Yeah, but there'll be 0 men in the next one. There'll just be no men.
Shane, I don't mind it, but you
all
can't.
female priests.
Yes.
Ooh.
It'll be the nuns that have to do it.
No, not nuns.
And,
nuns are patriarchy.
not
It's going
nuns,
to be
they're priests.
female priests.
yeah, but they won't be Catholic. You know, like they will grow up Catholic.
It'll be non-denominational.
They'll be part of like
I think Shane just wants to
some
see
like
tits,
hip
that's why.
church.
Shane just wants to see tits.
God, please. It's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you could totally show tits in my lustful demon.
So my idea was, I like the idea of an exorcism and then the aftermath and like the researching and like everyone doing it and then the person dealing with the aftermath of like the most horrible thing happening in their life. I mentioned it before. Dan, before we get to my super surprise ending here, you're tasked with doing The Exorcist, but it's a sequel to this one or your own. What would you do with that?
I love the serial killer thing, like the third one. Let's just say fuck it, and let's go. George C. Scott's son is going to investigate another serial killer that's doing it in a exorcist way. Like, let's just do the whole neck broken, all turned down. Like, turn all the way around and say screw it. So then, like, he has to investigate it, and it's to bring in priests. But then he hates the Catholic Church because he got molested, maybe. So then he hates their advice. He doesn't respect it, but then he has to team up with Father Karras' grandson or daughter, and they team up together, and they have to solve the serial killer. But it ends up being exorcism at the end because it's Hollywood.
Ooh, can I jump off, springboard off of this? I got an idea. What if?
Oh, do we do this offline? Because this might be sold at some point.
I don't really care. But here's an idea, though. What if there's a murder in the Catholic Church, but it's like high up, and it's scandalous? So then a detective has to be like escorted around by like another priest, and then he kind of delves and figures out like it's much darker than it is, and it involves like conspiracies, cover-ups, and then some kind of like demon maybe in the Catholic Church, but some kind of idea where it's like, it's all hidden, so it kind of ties into like the current day Catholic Church where everything's kind of hidden and cover up, but then this cop has it after the diocese is going to go after them and whatnot, but he has to like step on the toes. So it's kind of like your idea of like noir, but also the exorcism is also in there too.
But like the priest that escorts him's like hot.
Yeah, super hot,
really
super
sexy.
fucking sexy. Of course, big tits,
There it
super
is.
sexy. Her crucifix is actually a dildo, not a crucifix.
And directed by
So-
Rob Zombie.
Perfect.
My perfect movie's already been made, and I know I've brought it up before because more people need to see it. It got 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is trash.
Paul Blart
It is a
too.
movie. No, it's End of Days featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You've been talking about that movie since you were
Which
kids.
is- A private security guard finds himself caught up in an apocalyptic conflict. The devil's only chance of getting out of his eternal prison is to mate with a chosen girl in the last hour of the millennia. Mm-hmm. The guard finds himself having to protect this woman from an enemy he does not even believe in. End of Days, featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger, starring.
Beautiful. Okay, so
it's dog shit.
Oh yeah, we'll add it to the list. Okay, it's been a long night, but I have one more surprise for you boys to wrap up this perfect Halloween evening. I just sent it to you in Discord. Check it out.
All right.
Don't read the title because it's going to be the ending, but there's a title.
Oh, please tell me it's going to be a script.
Okay.
Oh.
So I play Little Liam. Oh boy.
Skeeter and
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween. Last night I stayed up late and wrote a little script for us for our Halloween to wrap up our night together. So without further ado, this is a wonderful original script. It's a little long. It's a wonderful original script by yours truly.
Why can't I scroll? What?
Open it up on the Google Doc.
It's always the...
There we go. I got it.
Okay, so myself, I am the narrator. I'm also Miss Misery. I'm also the news reporter. Dan, you are Father Flaccid. Shane, you are Little Liam.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
Hey, Father.
Don't do this to me.
Father, put down
I
the
know I'm
pants
home,
for
but
I have
please don't do this
sinned.
to me.
Okay. For the sake of time, let's not break character. Feel free to do whatever voices or improv you want to do, but let's stay in character the best that we can. But feel free to enjoy yourself as we do this, okay? Hey.
Do your thing,
No.
Let's go. Okay, I gotta go to bed. I gotta eat chicken wings and go to bed.
Read it. If you want to add a little twist to it, have fun. But you don't have to improv at all. Okay. Halloween night, 2023. Trick-or-treaters' screams and laughter echo throughout the crowded street. The camera zooms in on a single-story home. A dark figure steps into frame near a careful deaf child at play sign, and fog floods the scene. The figure moves towards the house as an orchestra of bells plays ominous and non-copyright music. The door opens and a sad-looking woman's face is seen. She's wearing all black and looks like as if she is crying. Are you Father Flaccid?
Yes. Yes, I am.
The father walks into the home, removes his coat and yarmulke. That's right, a Jewish priest. You didn't see that Yiddish twist coming, did you, bitches?
What is the boy?
He's in his room. A hollering is heard from a room down the hall.
I assume that is the boy.
No, it's...
You're going in and out of all these accents.
No, that's my mama. She has the arthritis and bets all her social security checks on the Jets.
That poor, godless woman. Is the room down the hall past the two bathrooms?
Yes. Would you like to know anything about my son's background or the symptoms he is displaying?
No. Demons are all the same. They spin lies by preying on your innermost concerts. Fear.
Concerns. God damn it.
Nightmares. I'm Ron Burgundy. I'm going to read this bitch how it is. Nightmares. And you're ready too.
Fuck it, come on, let's go.
And despairs. They are aroused by the pain of humans and ejaculate their thorn penises at the smell of the shame.
Yeah, well, I like to warn you, Father. He's saying some horrendous things.
Thank you, madam, but I can't assume your gender. Madam, may I ask?
Yes, I'm a madam.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you were a dolphin. Sorry. But the devil can use his darkened tongue to say foul fallacies, but that will not stir my faith in the tongue.
God damn, Danny, Jesus Christ. Fucking read it. Father.
It's like ChatGPT.
Father, he's saying some awful shit. Like, really fucking awful shit.
No need to warn me, Miss Misery. I'm still questioning your faith. It's fine, though. I am resilient.
Father Flaccid walks down the hall with Miss Misery behind him. They approach a bedroom door and open the door. Cold air can be seen from their breath as they walk in, and the camera looks at the shocking scene. A young boy is strapped to a bed and writhing around in a rage with brown substance all over his face.
Well, hello there. Seems like a mummy has brought in a nice little kosher snack to munch on, yeah? Yeah? Looks yummy, huh? How many licks does it take to get to the center of her Tootsie Pop, priest, huh? She's my mom, that's weird, but we're doing it. I bet you aren't used to the boys hitting on you, are you? Huh, priest? Yeah, you like it.
Quiet, Hellspawn. I am, but I'm not. But that's a different story. You have no authority here except what is granted by our Father in heaven and hell.
Hey, listen. I'm just saying. Cheap, couple bucks here, you get a peep at the brown hole. Eh?
Flaccid looks at the mother.
Oh. What is on his brown face?
Oh, that would be his own feces. He likes to cover his face and talk in an African-American voice. Father Flaccid is dumbfounded.
Oh, dear God. Your son. It's in blackface.
God damn it, Danny.
And performing menstrual voices?
Going to hell. Straight to hell.
I wrote it.
You didn't write the voice there, Shane, but that's okay. Don't, Popeye or Mr. Popeyes. Don't do that. That's... Wow.
I told you, it's
Wow.
awful things. Lil Liam, you go and stop that awful behavior. It is unbecoming.
Mother, you are...
Mother is shocked by this and begins to cry.
I cannot believe David Gordon Green wrote that script right there. Be gone, noxious malady. The power of the Holy Spirit, the Talmud, the Holy Quran, and Xenu.
That's right, all the religions. We're bringing peace to the world via religion in this holy script. Higher ways of potential today to solve all world crises.
Oh, priest. I didn't know you had so many... I wish you would... I don't know. Oh, God. My soul is melting.
Oh, Shane. Oh, I'm sorry, Liam. You can't say the N-word. You can't say that shit anymore. It's 2023. Seriously. Okay. Evil for you, demon. That is just awful. Oh, you know what? I might leave this room. It's too cold for me.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, you gonna be a little dumb bitch? You gonna be a little dumb...
Okay, hold on. Okay. You know that, you know what? Fuck this noise. Hold on.
Father Flaccid gets out his cell phone.
No. You know, I'm done.
Oh, Jesus. Like, this should be the next Exorcist where we cancel the demon.
No! Stop ruining my fucking script, you shitbird.
Damn it, Shane. God. Stop with the N-words, please, too. You know what? Fuck this. I'm done. Fuck this noise. I dare you to say some more homophobic, racist, misogynistic shit again. Do it. I don't care. I'm live streaming this. Hold on. Let me sign into my Instagram password. Sign into X. Okay, watch what happens. Go.
You fool. Who do you think created the social medias that you use? Run off, little bitch. And see what happens. I own the medias that you want to use.
Both Miss Misery and
Elon's
Father
my bitch.
Both Miss Misery and Father Flaccid are beyond shocked and stare at the shit-covered, foul-mouthed demon. Oh, Liam, you have no idea what you've just done.
You might not be afraid of the Lord, but you have just called upon the wrath of the trans community.
The scene changes to a news reporter. This just in, a priest has live-streamed a string of obscenities spoken by a demon, and now the entire transgender community is up in arms and calling for the cancellation of this demon. We had a chance to talk with the mother of the demon boy and the priest. I mean, he really is a loving woke boy, but that demon is just a little troll. I am beyond shocked by his closed-minded beliefs.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that fucking demon fucked up big time. As a quarter transgendered, I am personally offended on the behalf of the whole community. Shout out to my brother Ray Ray and JJ. What's up, brother?
We even got word from the demon boy himself. There's our for real report with the demon boy now.
I said what I said. I stand by it today. I will not stand by as my First Amendment right as a demon in the United States is infringed upon. I thought this was America. I thought that we were allowed to say what we believe, no matter if you liked it or not. I have to listen to a lot of things you say that I don't like, but I hear everyone's opinions. They could be wrong, they could be right. But that's what America is. I can just say,
Ask for a monologue.
no matter if it's racist, homophobic, transgender, multigendered, multiracial, or whatever. Catch me with my new book and my movie at a Hawk on the Joe Rogan Show. Peace, bitches.
A music sting, and the film title pops up in all red. The Canceledist.
We can't get this demon out. Oh, we can. We'll just make it so painful being him.
What a wonderful script, Ron. Not gonna lie.
Thank you very much. Oh. Happy Halloween from Wasted Potential Podcast.
Watch End of Days.
Or what's the movie Ron keeps talking about with
Killer Joe?
Killer Joe.
Funky movie.
It's NC-17 and has Matthew McConaughey. What could go wrong?
Oh boy.
Rape.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
The end.
That it?
Wait, Shane, what's going on with Limp Bizkit, you said?
Limp Bizkit dresses like cowboys now, and they do Limp Bizkit songs. Fred Durst literally dressed, all of them were a cowboy.
Yeah, it's a ploy.
I've got a video.
Yeah. I'm
gonna send it to you right now.
We know this, and he did the same. Fred Durst did the same thing for like Dad thing. He wore like a white wig. Yeah.
Did he?
What are you guys talking about at all?
Well,
yeah.
Real quick, just watch 10 seconds of this.
I'm okay. I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm really busy.
Okay, I have to rewatch Exorcist 5. So.
Yeah. What? Shane, can you give me some more, some glass half fulls when you have a chance? And I need these, right, if you can, by tomorrow morning, because I got a lot to fucking edit. This is almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Do I need to... Am I stopping?
You gotta stop now.
Yeah, I'm stopping.
Okay. Penis, balls, cock. Oh, shit.
All right.
I'm recording.
All right. Recording. Looking good.
Should be a little bit louder.
Got my green
split pea soup ready.
Ugh.
It's chunky. It is bad.
You didn't even get good shit. You got Progresso?
It costs more than Campbell's, and it's worse.
I think Campbell's was cheaper. I was
Get
concerned. I was just
organic.
concerned the Campbell's one wouldn't be actually like green. That's why.
Oh, it's fucking green, buddy.
Oh,
And like you have to mix it with water, and it's so thick that it's it's like water and oil. It's like
I
split.
didn't mix it. I might have won that battle there.
I
might be
did
better.
mix it. It's so bad.
I might just do.
Oh my
I might just do.
Split pea soup.
I might just put half Miller Lite in the glass, the shot glass, and the other half is split pea soup.
That's the worst like michelada ever.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Okay, you boys ready?
Fuck. Yeah. This was a weird experience. At least Rocky, I looked forward to each film. This one was like, fuck, there's 3 more. Fuck, there's 2 more. Fuck, I can't buy this one? God damn it.
I watched.
There is no God here, priest.
I watched
There is no
I watched
God
the 5th
in
one on
theaters.
free with Vivo. That sucked.
Same. I had to like stop.
Yeah.
It's like the editing's already bad, and it cuts in between the commercials. I'm like, God, fucking damn! It's
Fades
30
in and
minutes longer.
out with black. I'm like, okay, just shoot my balls off. And it's 2
And then
hours.
I had
Saw
to-
more of
and then-
Stellan Skarsgård than I ever wanted. I don't know why George C. Scott wasn't in all of them.
He was dead by then. But Dan like
So, that doesn't matter.
But then like I had to watch that the 5th one like 3 times, and every time you restart it, it starts over with like all the ads. I'm like, God damn it!
Oh yeah. No, even if you pause it too. I remember doing bathroom breaks.
Yes, it's so
Yeah.
fucking awful.
I spent $1.99 to watch the same movie I had just watched.
I love how you don't ask me like things. Like, why don't you ask me where to stream shit? Like,
Yeah.
it's so crazy that you just after 4 years of this shit.
You could have went to my third-party source. That's totally illegal as well.
You should have seen the pickle I was in. I was like hitting my head on my car steering wheel and being like, what the fuck am I going to do? I am not going to a goddamn movie theater to see The Exorcist.
I warned you months in advance.
I thought I could buy it. I was going to purchase it for $30 on HBO. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it. That's how committed I am. And it's like, oh, you can pre-order? And I'm like, really? Pre-order Exorcist Believer. Like, 3 people in the world did it, and it was on accident because they thought they were purchasing The Exorcist.
I have to record the audio at the end because it's so bad. It sounds like the guy recording it in the movie theater is either shaking a bag of beans or he's jacking off. I can't tell.
He's having a seizure.
He's going.
What is wrong? This movie is dog shit.
And at the end, you can see people's heads pop up on the credits. It's so awesome.
So it's literally Kramer's doing it on the Seinfeld episode.
With a big old bag of candy. Yeah.
Oh my God. We ready, boys?
Let's do it.
Happy Halloween.
This is why I do the intros. I am dressed in my Taylor Swift outfit this year for my Halloween costume, but I'm dressed up
Friendship
in the
bracelets engage.
Thanks for interrupting me.
Sorry.
Well, now I'm
So
wrong. You
quick.
ruined it. Now I'm upset. Now I'm fucking upset.
quick.
No.
I know.
No,
Like,
what you got to say, Tay-Tay?
He literally can't just give me one fucking moment, can he?
You know what? Fuck this.
Thank God he's gone.
Your mother sucks cocks and hell, Karis.
I'm gonna take that one again and use that as an outtake.
All right, I'm back to recording. I believe in a thing called love. Just
Thank you, the
listen
darkness.
to the
Danny,
rhythm
what
of
would
my
your
heart.
miserable rant be about? Is he not here? Oh, that's hilarious.
He's fucking gone, man. What if it was just a Biden speech, just an old Biden speech? He's like, hey, guy, you know, either your deal is you buy it how you saw it, or you're just stupid. Or it's just a George W. where he's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, bet you ain't gonna fool me again.
Fool, we can't get fooled again. We won't get fooled again, Brown. I
Exorcist
fucking
3 was a
love
treasure.
it.
True treasure. Yeah. I wouldn't say... none of these was, like, jaw-dropping, but 3 was good, and this is the last glimpse of light as we enter into.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, we talked
darkness.
a lot about the first half because the second half there's not gonna be much to say.
The thing I'm most mad about is I like Stellan Skarsgård. And I fucking can't stand watching him. I'm just like, get out of here. How many Skarsgårds are there?
There's a whole legion.
We are a Skarsgård. What a weird, like, if you think about it, there's obviously acting families, but there's a bunch of Skarsgårds, and none of them are really that famous. Like, Stellan's pretty recognizable, and who's the jacked one that was in Twilight? Alexander's, but there's like 5 others.
There's
Billy Zane.
There's also the one. Yeah, but there's the one who was in the Batman, and he's in a lot of things. Skarsgård. He's really good. I can't remember his fucking name now.